access to this file. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to talk about how you would make these plumbing drawings a little
It
bit
just
better.
says live. It does not. It's not giving me a time frame. Does that mean it's recording or just
It is
streaming?
recording. It now says end stream. If you hit end stream, then it would stop that thing.
Okay.
Okay. So Nate, understand they gave you this guy to show you how. What if when you zoom in on those little things, do they tell you anything? To learn more about this project, view sheet P001.
Can y'all read it?
I can. So, first thing that you want to understand, Nate, is when we're working on a file that's got multiple disciplines, we want to make sure that those Revit links are loaded. So the first thing that Eric and I would automatically do is we would scroll all the way to the bottom of the browser and check and make sure your Revit links are loaded. See how they're all in blue? They'll have a red X when they didn't come in correctly. Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's something that you have to be aware of, especially when working with this cloud stuff, because if you're not linked to the right path. Now that's where Autodesk's idea is to have you link that through the cloud, and you can do that. But then you can't clean the file like we like to do to our files to make them so that they're usable. Okay, which is part of some of the sluggishness. So when you said that that thing was extremely sluggish, you weren't wrong. What else did they tell us to do on this guide? All models use the same coordinate, stored in the same folder. Insert, tab, ribbon, click Revit. They're already. So if you stretch your browser window so that we can see and make sure everything's attached. But it looks like everything's attached. Right? You didn't need to go quite that far, but you see I needed to see the architectural, electrical, sample facades, HVAC.
That's it. That's I can't go any could go
And
any further.
structural. So why is the one not in alphabetical order? That's the one they actually typed it in, is not in alphabetical order. All right. Still, so what are you in? You're in the plumbing. So the sample site is not attached. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see what I'm talking about? That's the only one that's not attached. And theoretically, we could attach it, and we may play with that later. But what I wanted to go after was teaching you how to make these drawings a little bit better. Wow, that's really ironic where that is in Pennsylvania. You see that little legend over there? The project location. Remember we talked about that?
Yeah.
And they did even smarter. They looked up a coordinate system and gave someone a coordinate system. Okay.
Right.
Isn't that what we talked about for a cover sheet? So you
Yeah.
can see now, one of the things that an architect's going to want you to do is to use his border if you're doing plumbing, mechanical, electrical engineering.
Talking about this down here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I want to do there, the other thing that they'll do is they're going to want the project number, usually the project number and all of that information to be the same on the architectural drawing as it is in your drawing. So I want to show you something. Typically, when I get an update from an architect and I'm working in one of the subdisciplines, one of the first things I do is I go to Manage, Transfer Project Standards, check None. Notice where it's coming from, and this is frustrating because can you stretch this window so you can see the actual name? It's coming from architectural. Okay?
Yeah.
It's coming from the architectural file. One of the things you want to do is you want to transfer in the project information. Can you go find project information? from the architectural file. All the way down. Project info. See that?
Yeah.
And then you say okay, and you let it overwrite it. Say overwrite. And what will happen is now that project number will match the project number and the project information that's in the architectural file. Now, a lot of people don't understand why this is so important. And the biggest reason this is so important is the fourth button on the Manage tab is a button that says Project Information. Look across the top of the buttons, the icons. Hit that. This, and once again, you can stretch this a little bit more so we can see it a little bit better. This is the project information. And you see how you would want this to match so that you're calling it the same project name, the same building name. And you don't get all of that if you just, I fill my border out, because some of that stuff might not be on the border. One of the things that'll typically be important is going to be the project issue date and the project status. And you can see how if you're working with an architect, at some point that's going to change. That project status is going to go from schematics to design development or to whatever they name it to be. And as an engineer, it's really important that you make your drawings of that same package match what the architect's saying. Does that all make sense to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I'm working on a job, this is where it gets to the point where it's really nice if the architect only updates me when he truly updates. I'd like to know when the things are going to change because I have to go do this setting right off the top of my head is one of the ones I typically do. Okay. Now with Jaffe software, with that Rhino inside, we may be able to make routines to actually do this kind of stuff, which would make our life much easier. Okay. But for you, I want you to understand transferring the project standards from the new architectural file is a good idea. You don't have to do it every time you open your file, but every time you get a new architectural file. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were going down the sheets. We were going to go, you're just going to reinforce it? I got you. We're going to get you back there. We're going to do that a whole lot. See, because what you don't realize with the school is it looks like we can't do anything, and that's not true. We could prep ourselves and get our file ready to be made, and we could even play in a couple of those rooms, okay?
All right.
What I developed as a process was if we do that initial setup before we really even make it into a plumbing file, and then we take that file and make that into a mechanical file, make it into a plumbing file, make it into an electrical file, and make it into a structural file, we can have all of our files already set up with all their views, okay? So that's what I would typically do when a project's at the point where the architect's not quite there yet. But for this guy, we all agreed we're going to try to make that cover sheet look a lot nicer. Show me those images, and I want to talk through a little situation we've got.
These?
Okay. Pick on one of them. I'm guessing it's an actual image.
Yeah.
That's pretty sad. That means, does it have those same images on every one of the cover sheets? It probably does, and it shouldn't.
Yeah.
We'll come back and revisit that because
It does. I can see it in the thumbnail of all of them.
Okay, so that's really a bad idea on how they set this file up, because that's what we're trying to discuss is how it's a good job, it's a well done job, but it could be better. Now, when we look below that, we see the sheet index. Remember, I hit you up that you need to put a sheet index in.
Yeah.
Right? So we're pretty much in line with what they did on their cover sheet. We don't like the images, and we're going to make that isometric a heck of a lot nicer. What does it say? To learn more about this project, visit sheet P001. Can you go to that sheet? That would be a good one for you to read at some time. That is called the, what is that called? The narrative. Uh-huh.
I think that's just going you through what they showed you earlier on the cover sheet.
This is good. You should come back and do that stuff.
Yeah.
On your own time. Take me to the first sheet. That's level 0 sanitary. All right. When I get a new job, one of the first things that I like to do is I like to go to a brand new 3D view, and it's going to be a house. That default 3D view, that's the one.
Ooh.
All right. So I can tell already they're going to use scope boxes, which they're the bane of my existence. I usually will strip them out of a project. I sometimes will use them to do certain things, but go zoom in where all the level lines are. Okay. You'll never catch me having a file where you have those level lines all like that. Do you know why they're happening like that? Because they stretched them differently in the electrical file than they did in the plumbing file than they did in the architectural file. So first thing that if I'm going to work on this project, is I would probably go VV and I would turn off all the Revit links. Nope, the tabs across the top.
Oh, I see.
Revit links, highlight all those and make them hit check off. Checkbox, there you go, and say okay. All right. So what this is now going to show us is a little bit more of a standing chance. Now, those scope box, I don't want to confuse ourselves with those. Just pick on one of those and right click and say hide in view category so we don't have to see them. You know how we can turn them back on. All right. So now let's take this from the hidden line view to a shaded view. This is something most people don't do typically. So zoom into those pipes and you're going to find that did a great job with the pipe line. Oh, no, I don't think they did.
He's not in fine mode, I don't think. No,
Go
maybe
to fine mode. Yeah, go to fine mode. That's going to turn the small pipe on. And then change your scale to something like 3/4 inch. What you're going to find is that only put the color on the outside edges of the pipes.
Yeah. Yeah, I see.
Okay? Now, why that becomes a problem? Because when we go linking this into other softwares like Deluxe or Twinmotion, we're only going to get the gray on the pipe. We're not going to get a color on the pipe. And then we won't be able to see that information. And that's going to keep us from communicating what that pipe is. Is that brown pipe or is it that green pipe? Because they're both going to be about the same size. If we picked on the brown pipe, we would find out that that's actually not pipe, it's duct. And it's called exhaust air. See that?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the funny part is it's so easy to change this setting. I don't know why they never did. So, most people you're going to run into don't do this. So what we find is it's the system type of exhaust air. So in our project browser, if we were to go down and find duct systems.
In families?
Families. And then duct systems.
Yeah.
See, this is Nope, nope, nope. What's happening now is you're looking into annotations. If you scrolled up a little bit, you would see that one for analytical link. There you go. There you go. That was that. Nope, nope. Close that one too. Go down to duct systems. Uh-huh. See the exhaust air?
Yeah.
If you double clicked on it, see the first button, graphic overrides and edit?
Yeah.
See the color it is? You click on the edit.
Oh, I
See
see.
that?
Yeah.
That color is the color it's putting on the outside of the pipe. Okay. So what I typically do when I'm going to first start out a job is I hit the color. I now hit the add button. It's going to replace the black on my custom colors. Watch. See how it replaced it? If you hit add again, it would put another one right below that. Okay. It's just giving you a version of it. Now we say okay. And okay. And we go to the material. We make a new material. I typically do that from the default material. So down, go down and find the default. You see it? Duplicate.
Material and assets.
Yep, you can actually do that. Name this duct dash exhaust. And then copy that information. Right? Now what we do is on the graphics. That's pretty neat how that one didn't start out in the graphics mode. We would use our render appearance. Okay. And then we would go to the appearance. You got to hit that. They still got to do that. Now, I don't believe you have to duplicate it. Remember how I always made you duplicate it? But I would still duplicate it just in case. I think it did that when you did the duplicate with its assets. Now, highlight generic 13. Now go to the color. Go to that one. Now listen, here's what I typically do. I created a crazy idea in my head, and that was if the material is lighter than the line, that means what's in the material, in the object is light. So if it's carrying a liquid, I make the fill pattern darker than the line. But in this case, it's got carrying air. So all I would do is probably drag up on the side view the
scroll bar on the right side.
the scroll bar on the right side. I would just lift that up just a little bit, not too much. You can go a little bit more than that.
You want to be able to see a
Okay.
slight variation in the outline of the pipe and the face of the pipe.
Correct.
Like that much?
Looks beautiful.
Would you add that, or would you just say okay?
We could just say okay. And okay. And okay. And that, well, and to be honest, and you see how that now gave all of that ductwork another color. Now,
Yeah.
if you're picking up a job at this point where it's going into coordination, where it's leaving the engineers and going into coordination, what you're going to do is there might be a BIM execution manual that says we want duct this color, we want pipe this color. Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, on this particular project, that's one of the more disappointing things. That's what tells me this isn't this person's done multiple coordination jobs, because there's no BIM execution manual. There should always be a BIM execution manual that should tell you what their expectations are for you to do, because there's a million things you can do within BIM. That's what a BIM execution manual is supposed to do. Understand, most of them are just a copy of something that came out of Penn State in the like 2014, and it's just a derivative. They've made adjustments to it. But when I look at what I'm seeing on the screen, I see lots of opportunities for us to teach you how you should and shouldn't rerun pipe. one of the things you should do is you should go get all of your pipe and all of your duct to have good colors on them, not the gray. So the way I just showed you. Now you could actually do all of that by right. You could double click on any one of those, and that window is going to pop up. You go to edit. That was where we stole the color. You go to magenta. You say add. It's going to add it to that first slot. You say okay, right, and then
You cut out.
no, I didn't cut out. I was going. No, you know what I would have done there? That's not totally a bad idea, but you've already created the one named duct exhaust. It's a good idea that you keep them named the same. Now hit cancel for me so that you can see that we could take it even one step further. Cancel. Go ahead and cancel your way out. I know you did that one thing. What you really should have done is when you clicked on return error, before you double clicked, you should have clicked once slowly and then again. Now you do a control C, right? And then you go in and edit and make it. Okay. Now go down to pipe systems and hit the plus next to pipe systems. See all those?
Yeah.
You should do that with all those. Okay.
Okay. So click on it again, copy, and then
Yeah.
you go in.
And then you go into it, and then you can just use a paste. That'll be your
Right.
material. You're going to use one called pipe domestic cold water. Actually, it should be called plumbing, okay? Because this is the plumbing file. Now, I'd be interested how they did this project, and we were going to play with this and learn how they actually did it. But what you're going to find is they probably put the piping in the HVAC file. We're not going to look at that right this second for multiple reasons. Okay. One of the reasons being this is where I hate to say it because you're not supposed to do it, but you have to do it. This is where you open up 4 copies of Revit if you're going to work on this file. And I'll show you why in a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that level 0. I asked you to just simply put some room tags in. That's all I wanted you to do. Just, nope, this one has room tags in. This was not the one that we went to. So go to the next floor. Uh-huh. You were there. You were there. Yep.
Same thing. They don't really have. Well, I guess
No, this one has the room tags in it. Why did we not see the room tags before?
Sheet, the P001 sheet.
this one does not have room
It's
tags. in it.
P102. It doesn't have it in there.
What are they showing on this sheet? What is this? Oh, is that the plumbing?
That's the plumbing. It's all single line drawn because at 8 scale, that's what you have to do.
Okay. But yeah, they
Now,
don't have any room tags.
well, more importantly, can you put a room tag in? See, that was where I was trying to test you. See what you got now. You're in the sheet, so you actually have to go into the view. You'd have to double click on the view to activate the view.
You're right. Yeah.
Right now, you would think you could do the room, but when you tried to do the room tag, that's it. It says rooms are currently not visible.
Hmm.
So how do we make room tags visible? Oh. So there is no real reason for them not to have the room tags on.
Yeah. How do you make the room tag smaller? Would you just go to
The scale. They're driven by the scale. That's where you would need to get a larger floor plan. That's where it's so frustrating. That's where more than likely put one tag in. All right. it put it in there, but they're not turned on. So hit escape. I want you to do a VV. Okay, and I want you to go to the tags, the annotation tab on the top screen, and I want you to go turn on your room tags.
You're right. There's a checkbox at the top of everything that says show
Nope. Look, room tags are turned on. That's not what's getting them, though. Good idea. You know what's getting them is a template has been applied. That's why everything's grayed out. Nope, don't hit cancel. Go back to the model categories and go down and see if the rooms are turned on, because that's what the error was really telling you, was that the rooms were turned off in this template. Look right there, rooms. See how they're turned off?
Yeah.
Guess what you can't have if you don't have a room?
Plumbing.
Room tag. You can't have a room tag without a room. Guess what you can't have? You have to have in order to have a pipe tag. Your pipes have to be turned on. See, this is the beauty of how these tags work. So if you turn the pipes off, the pipe tags will go with them automatically, even though they still may be turned on. If the pipes aren't turned on, there won't be able to be any tags hosted to any of those pipes. This is important for you to grasp. So all we need to do is turn on the rooms. But
odds are those tags are there. You just don't see them because the rooms are turned off.
there is a possibility of that. There is a possibility of that. It's a very good point, Eric. So what you need to do is you need to understand, more importantly, why the heck is stuff grayed out? Like, can you change the scale right now? Try changing the scale on this view. I'm going to bet you can't do that either.
Nope.
Look, they're all grayed out. Why the hell is everything grayed out?
It's because the view template.
Because it has a view. Because it has a view template attached to it. So right now, when you don't have anything selected, nope. Good idea, but no.
Okay.
What you need to do is scroll down on that window to where you see view template. Nope, the properties.
The properties window.
Oh, okay.
Scroll down right there. You see where it says view template?
Yeah.
It has something like a Nathan floor plan attached to it permanently. What I had, see, it's got plumbing sanitary. Now, you could go fix the plumbing sanitary, and then it would fix it in all the sheets. And I'm not going to argue against whether you should use view templates or you shouldn't use view templates. What I'm going to show you is, if you got to navigate to try to adjust that kind of stuff, what you want to do is just make it say none, so it doesn't have a view template. But do you understand what they did was, instead of applying a view template, you remember how we applied the view template to all those views?
Yeah.
Instead, what they did was they highlighted all those views, and then they actually manually made a hard template applied to those. See, now you can change your scale. If you go down to the scale, you see how you can change your scale to a 1/4 inch. You can also change it to a 1/4 inch. Let's just see what happens. And then go VV and turn your room tags on. Or your rooms. I apologize. You're right. Rooms. You will have at least the one tag. Now,
that you dropped.
Right? Now, here's a question. Did Revit solve the problem of not being able to say tag all rooms and be able to tag them? So can you walk him through tagging all the rooms, Eric?
Yeah, go. You're going to go up to the annotate top of the bit. Yeah, there you go. And you've done this before. It's the tag all button right beside tag category. And you just got to find room tags. Hit the checkbox in front of that and say okay.
So they did not fix the button. Okay. So typically what I would do is I would go copy all those room tags and paste them. We don't need to do that. Hey, Tyler, how you doing?
Good, buddy.
So the first time through, you'll want to tag them. And there is some advantage on a drawing this size. You got to understand where that tag sits in this room can be convenient for the plumbing drawings, but that may not make any sense for the electrical drawings because that tag might be right on where the light is in that room. So in other words, this isn't something that's going to be hard and fast. This is going to be something that you're going to need to do for each one of the sets of drawings, because remember what I told you going back to drafting 101, that tag should not sit on any objects.
Yeah.
Right? You try to find open space for them. Always. Tag the other rooms.
No.
If you zoom out a little bit, you can see where the center of the X is. You should be able to see where the center of the X
See
is.
the little red
that's
dots?
actually the whole
See the
unit.
little red dots? That's right.
That's
See, because what you're thinking is they actually named the bathroom, but they didn't name the bathroom. They named that what the apartment was. This is a typical apartment type drawing. Right. Now, amazingly enough, you can go copy all those tags from the architectural file, and I will show you how to do that. Okay.
This one's different.
Yeah, that was just the one you dropped in the first time.
Yeah.
Now, do you see the problem with the scale, though, right?
Yeah.
With that scale, doesn't fit on the sheet. That's why they made it an 1/8" scale. So, how do we make this into 2 quarter scale drawings to fit on 2 sheets? Eric, can you walk them through it?
We're going to need to break the plan in the middle and have 2 separate views set up for it.
Correct.
So, excuse me. Under view, the view tab on the top. Why am I drawing a blank here, Brian? Give me 1 second.
All right, what you need to do is first find out what view you're in. Can you find out what view you're in?
Floor plan sanitary. Level 2 sanitary.
That's the sheet. That's the sheet. I want to know what plan you're in.
Click the plus. Click the plus in front of that sheet view. That's it right there. So it's floor plan L2.
You could also find that by going down and looking at the little title block in the bottom corner where you found the scale on the drawing. Zoom on your drawing to the little title block.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Now, sometimes we can make that name not match, but typically that name matches. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to go find L2. And you see how that says floor plan sanitary?
Yeah.
I don't think that's really a great way for that thing to be organized, but we're not going to get into that. What we're going to get into is we need to duplicate this guy.
Duplicate the view as a dependent.
Nope, because that would mess up L2. So what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate L2. Right click and say duplicate, and you can say with detailing. Now name the word copy one. One click, second click slowly. Where it says copy one, make that say quarter scale. Tell them.
The inch mark
And the
and the
slash.
slash.
Can't
So
use either of those.
I would actually have to type in quarter.
You
we
could
would
do one
underscore
underbar four. There you go. And tell them why.
I don't remember why. The slash doesn't work because it goes to the file name and makes it look like a folder structure.
And if we try to export these floor plans, it's going to cause the export to crash.
That's odd.
In other words, it would try to make a file named with a quote and with a slash in it. If you go to a My Computer window, go to one of your My Computer windows.
Yeah, sorry, it's on the screen.
If you go to one of your My Computer windows, try to rename a file to have either a slash or a quote mark in it, and you're going to find it can't do it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see. Yeah, it's not working.
That's why we don't use those characters. Because remember, a lot of what we name in Revit will have to get pushed out to a loadable family. And if we've used that name in a loadable family, it can drive you nuts why you can't open the family. When you try to open and edit the family, you have all kinds of problems. Don't name with those bad characters. So if you can't name a file with it, don't name it. Okay?
All right.
All right. So now, that wasn't the tricky part. What was the tricky part is this next one where it says duplicate as dependent view. Mm-hmm.
You want me to do it?
That's it, duplicate as dependent. Now, do you see how it turned the crop boundary on?
Yeah.
Right? So I typically would want to suck that closer, but for right now, I just want you to take and I want you to drag the one edge. That'll be fine if that's the one you want to pick.
Drag it closer?
Yep. The one blue dot, the blue dot in the middle of it, drag it to the middle of the building, right about where the stairs are. Perfect. Okay. Then what you do is you would tell it that that was area A. So name that area where it says dependent one, name it area A or area one or area A1, whatever the area name is.
Let's just say B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now you just do that same thing.
Would I go back here and duplicate as dependent?
Either one you can do.
So I can duplicate this one too?
You could duplicate that one as well. Now, that little step you did right there, you notice how you stretched it and stretched it?
Yeah.
If you know the exact size of the view on the piece of paper, you could have just moved that crop boundary over 32 inches because you know your sheet is 36 inches wide. So in other words, I'm just trying to explain to you that there was a math that you could have just, and go ahead and let that fly right there. Now just pick the move command and move the whole window over to the other side. See, then it keeps the window the same size.
The whole window to the other side, what do you mean?
Move from one edge to the other. From the left edge, that left edge, yep. And then move that and pick it onto the right side. Watch what it does.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it'll just...
But
Yeah.
you see what it did with the view inside. It's not about where that crop boundary moves. It actually moves opposite. And you could use the nudge arrow right now. Go ahead and nudge a little bit, and you're going to see it's the opposite direction you would think.
Oh yeah, because it's nudging the actual view inside.
There you go.
Not
That's all I
not
wanted
under.
to show you. That's all I wanted to show you.
Yeah, that move command probably would have been more accurate anyway.
Well,
Because I drug it. I mean, it didn't.
when you're working on a job with a large footprint, like the size of the casino, I had 54 of those dependent views. Okay.
Yeah.
So instead of me stretching everyone and everyone being a little bit different size, every view ended up the same size. Now, what you should have done is if we go back to our sheet, or better yet, let's just make a new sheet.
I do not have that. That would be.
That's under view, new sheet. Mm-hmm.
Sheet.
Perfect. All right, so you used the wrong border. That when it said make a new sheet and you used the wrong one, just pick on the border and go change its properties. The one, yep, you had it. Change its properties, one of those other ones. That's probably it, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you drug your area B onto the screen, you would find it would fit in the X direction, but not so good in the Y direction. Right?
Yeah.
Now, a better way to do that is to double click on that view and suck that crop boundary to inside the title block. Now, it's still going to give you a weird, if you delete it off the sheet and then redrop it on there, you would think that would fix it. But because those section marks are weird section marks, it's not going to do that. So go ahead and delete it off the sheet. Let's see if I'm correct about that. Right, this is where I told you delete it off the sheet and replace it in. You're going to see it still getting weird because of those section marks.
Yeah.
So my recommendation, when you're putting sheets on, or when you're putting these dependent views on, before you put them on, go into that view once and hide and view that category, which is section marks. Now delete it off your sheet, drop it in on your sheet, and everything will work a lot smoother. Right? Now, Eric will tell you that a lot of people are so picky, and I'm one of them, that little circle in the title bar down at the bottom, I like that to be in the same spot on every sheet. That little circle.
You like to have it right here, don't you?
I like that. I like to have it in the same spot. I can work with you on where you actually like to have it, but I like to have it in the same spot. It's just one of those little picky things. It doesn't make a world of difference in your drawings. It's just one of those things.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, do you usually have one of the? Because I saw earlier, do you usually have one of these and one over here? Well, I guess you don't usually use this.
That one will change a lot of times when you put two objects at two different scales on one drawing.
Yeah.
It's a good idea to have the sheet scale as well as the individual scale. Yes, I usually run both of those. Okay. Now, this guy would more than likely need legends. And what kinds of notes would he need?
Plan notes. He would need probably general notes, like
typically, and that's where this, for engineering, he would at least need tags on those pipes. What happens if you try to tag one of those pipes? Tag by category. See? And it's set up with a tag that tells you the size and the number of fixture units at that point. And that might be important on the design side. Do they have any other tags in there that are for that category?
Go to your properties box.
Nope. He's got to have one of them selected. You got to escape 2 times and then select that tag. Does he have any other pipe tags? Pipe system abbreviation. Try that one out. Okay. You know why that one's not working here? Little test.
Because they don't have the type system abbreviation in the properties of the pipe system.
Dude, home run. Show them how to put it in.
Scroll down to your properties in your project browser. We want to go down to the families. Piping systems. And did we say those are sanitary?
Yep.
So double click on sanitary and see where it says abbreviation right about the middle, second one under identity data.
Yeah.
You would put
SAN.
what? S for sanitary?
SAN, let's put. I like it. Watch what happens to that tag. See,
And what you would
think of
also
it
want to try and put into that tag information is you would also generally put an elevation, whether it's the you're going to go systematically by center of pipe, bottom of pipe, top of pipe.
not for sanitary, but yes for that.
Oh yeah, because sanitary sloping.
Yep. Now, sanitary sloping is what he said. So the other thing that would need to happen on this guy is we need to put a slope on it.
Not in there. Just do you remember how to do your slope tag, your spot slope tag?
Yeah. You would just put it on the pipe?
Yeah, but notice what happens. No slope. They
Yeah.
haven't sloped their pipe. Go ahead and hit another one just to see, verify that they haven't sloped any of it. So now I'm saying, does this? There you go. See, so some of the stuff they sloped, but
So
some
the
they
main
didn't.
line they sloped, but the trunk or the branch lines they did not.
That requires 2 clicks. And you see they didn't even slope it from there to there, which would be a problem if you're trying to do coordination.
Yeah.
And to be honest, in Brian's theory, it wouldn't hurt to put the no slope on there because then in coordination, they can see that they gave us pipes that are not sloped.
Well, more importantly, if you fix the slope. Now, what's going on there, dude? What's going on there? See, that's part of the problem with this 2-line stuff. Something weird's going on there. Can you see it? I can see it. That pipe takes that 90-degree turn down the page, and then it takes a dive in elevation.
Right here.
I want you to select that whole set of pipe right there.
All this, the vertical pipe?
Yep. Do a window around all that stuff.
You grab the wall, I think.
Yep, you move the whole file. You want to say cancel?
Yeah.
That's pretty funky how they've attached stuff to the walls. Did you hit cancel?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So what's happening is you're selecting linked objects. Down in the bottom, I know you got the one where you don't select locked objects. The first button is don't select linked objects. Now you won't accidentally select that wall. Now do a loop around there. See, we got to get you to do it wrong first to get it to happen. All right. So notice how it's not selecting that stuff.
It's because it's. Well, that actually is odd.
It's. I think it has to do because it's cut plane where it sits in the cut plane.
That's what it has to do with. So if you go check your cut plane for this view, good answer, Eric. See where the view range is?
Yeah.
You see where it says bottom and level? If the object is between the bottom and the level, you won't be able to window select it. So make your bottom say -3 feet. See how everything now gets better to read on the page, and now you can select it. See, you just improved your drawings because now you'll notice it got a darker color, didn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's inside the view range right there, and then type in BX. See, did you envision that's what it was doing? Because Eric and I did. I know we did.
I didn't know if it was a 90 or 45s, but yeah, I knew it did some kind of step in elevation. I guess 90s would show up. The fittings would show up with a little bit of a flange, wouldn't they?
Yeah, it all depends on how that fitting's made. You see how well their interference detection's working, buddy? And Eric and I are going to give you a pointer. Do you see how you see how their interference detections might not be working so great?
Yeah.
That's what your job ends up being when you're going to coordination. But it's even worse than that. Hot water will typically have an insulation on it. So will the cold, but the hot's going to probably have like 2-inch insulation.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't look like it has any insulation on it.
When you pick that, and when you
Could be
pick
turned
that,
off.
I bet against that.
Scroll down in the you have it selected. Scroll down in the properties box.
Correct.
Insulation 1/2 inch. Insulation thickness 0. So yeah, no, it does not have insulation applied to it.
That's a typical problem, Nathan. That's a typical problem that you're going to get with a file is that they don't run that insulation on there. Therefore, they're not thinking about where things are going to actually exist because insulation's only going to make that problem that much worse.
Yes, and I go deeper into the pipe.
Well, you're actually going to find that the red's going to even run into the blue.
Yeah,
you can't put two pipes as close together as they've drawn that. Okay.
All right.
Just trying to show you how I feel my way through a set of drawings. So let's take us back. Did you understand the two dependent views, dropping them on sheets? You dropped them both. You would drop both of those on sheets. And what you didn't do was two important things on the dependent view. Okay. So the first thing to understand on that dependent view is if you go back up in your browser to the parent view. I want to see the parent view, and I want you to go into the parent view, right? So a neat thing we can do in that parent view is if we turn our crop region visibilities on. The other way to do that is down on the bottom toolbar. There's now a little light bulb that's in yellow. That's the same exact button.
Oh, okay, yeah, I use that more.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to pick on that outer crop boundary and right down at the light bulb, say isolate category. No, well, that's the other one. It's the sunglasses. I'm sorry. Pick on the crop boundary first. Oh, not what I was expecting. They changed things a little bit. Go ahead and reset that eyeglasses. Why? You should be seeing those crop boundaries. Eric, help me why I can't see the other two crop boundaries in the parent. Oh, you're in the wrong view. You're in the wrong view. You're in L2, not L2 quarter scale.
Okay, I see.
Okay, so you can see here that your children views are not named correctly. So you didn't ever get to that second one. So stretch it over the second. Nope. Right in this view. Stretch it over that second half of the building. Yeah, you could move it. Now, you would want a little bit of each sheet to overlap here. You would not want to run out a sheet.
Like that?
That's a little bit heavy, but yeah, that works. That works. I mean, you see it fits on the sheet, right? A little
Yeah.
extra overlap's not going to kill you. Now you would stretch your two bottom and your top closer to the grid lines. I like the way you picked up where you did it in the other one. That's good. See, so now you would have two views. Now here's where you can actually name these a little bit better, because you can see the one you got selected right now.
Yeah.
That's actually the one you want to make area A. Now, the way I would name it is, you see how you have it selected? Look at your properties at the very bottom of the properties box. Up,
Yeah.
very bottom, last slot. You see that view name? And then you would name that area A. Drug a little bit too far off the screen. There you go. And just move your cursor onto the screen and look at how it named it. Now, obviously, what we would do is we would take that quarter scale out of the children, because we wouldn't tell someone that it's a quarter scale drawing when it's got the little quarter scale marker. I like that. I like that. All right, that's much better. Now those two could go on the sheets. But understand that when it came to tagging and things like that, I can do all the tagging in the parent view. Anything I do in this view is going to automatically happen to the other view, even detailing things, which, even though I told you when you do detailing, it only happens in that one sheet, this is the one time that that's not true.
So only when there is dependent views?
Only when there's dependent views.
Okay.
And you can make dependent views on elevations and sections as well. Okay. And that would have been the proper way for them to do that. That's why those section marks were so wide that we had to turn off. Right. See, so the whole idea that I'm saying is, typically when I get a job, that's the first cleanup set that I can actually start to do. This is what I would do for that school. Now, for the school, instead of doing a bunch of dependent views, I might do those areas as blow-ups. So we're only catching the areas where we're doing the bathrooms. Now, what I was going to show you is on the parent view. That's the parent view. The only thing we like to do on top of where the overlap is happening of those two views, we like to draw what's called the match line. And that's a special creature that's under the view tab, I believe. You would think it's annotate, but I'm pretty sure it's view. Yep. It's under sheet composition. There's a thing called a match line.
Match line. Yeah, I see it.
And we can then draw a line, and what this is going to be is half the distance between that overlap area. Yep, right in there. Mode. You about had it. About halfway between those two lines. Yep.
These two right here?
No. The two crop boundary boxes. Yep, right in there. There you go. Come off from 5. Keep coming over. Right there. And draw your pink line down through the building. Typically we won't make it larger than the crop boundary, but that's fine. And hit your checkbox, your green checkbox, and you'll see that became a match line. Okay. And a match line's a special creature. They don't have it showing up real nice. Typically, that's one you'll end up making be a good weight, but then again, your weights aren't turned off. But what I'm trying to show you is, that's a special line to show us where area A hits area B.
Yeah,
and what it works in conjunction with is right next to the match line button. There's a thing called a view reference. And you see how at the top it says view type, related views, target view, floor type, area A. So you would put these. And I would put one at the top line and one at the bottom. Zoom in there real close. Perfect.
Put it right here?
No, I would actually make it stand verticals. Can you hit a space bar and see if it'll step up on its side?
No, it won't.
All right, then put it in and then rotate it.
And then one at the bottom?
Yep. Now you'd want that on one side of the line, but we'll show you that in a second. Now, put one in there for area B. You're going to find out the area B one's going to actually get information because it's been put on a sheet. And you
Okay,
could
so-
copy that one over and do this to it.
Yeah. So since this one's on area A, I want it on this side of the line, right?
Right.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what these are. I use these in the field actually. We'd fold the sheets over and use this line.
They're nice in the sheets, right? They make
Yeah.
a world of difference. So you got to put them in. But you see what you did is you pick that guy and make that go to area B.
Oh yeah, right. You're right.
Don't look at the top. It did it for you. And yep, you can do them both at the same time in area B. Right?
Yeah.
They're very helpful to help you find that joining sheet. You know that from the field. That's why I want to teach you how to put them in, because you know how beneficial they are.
Yeah. So why is it not putting the page number on this one?
Because you have not put that one on the sheet yet.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
That's it. It
can't
only
hold
it
it
only
there
does what you do.
until it's on a sheet.
So I would have to here, actually.
Well, you would find that now that one did.
It's not big enough or small enough.
You would make a new sheet. That's why we did that, was to split it up so it could be on two different sheets.
Okay. There it is.
And you'd see it's actually telling you it's detail number 1 and detail number 2. Those correspond to the titles. Look at the bottom of the big view.
Yeah. Oh.
Nope, the big view. Somewhere the titles went on.
He's in the big view. The
He
view.
went back to the view. He went back to the view. I got you. That's what I'm talking about. See that number 1? See
Yeah,
that number
number
2?
Yeah. I see it.
Name that number 2. Make that number 2 be a 6. I want to show you how that works. Don't pick the title, pick the view. Now pick on the text. Make it a 6. Watch what happens at the match line. You see what happened at the match line on the one right there above you? It says 6 on
Oh, yeah.
P002.
Yeah. I see it.
Okay?
And that changes in all views, right?
Yeah, that would change. That's one of those things that's automatically linked. You'd also find if we went and made this sheet be P4.02, that both of those P02s would change.
You said what? P4 what?
P4.02. Just trying to do something weird so that you can see. Look at, they both changed to P4.02.
Yeah.
So one of the first things that you do is you try to get your sheet set up for the school I'm talking about now. We take the architectural file, we set up the sheets very similar to they've done in here. We get all of this stuff ready to go. Then you're ready to start modeling where the plumbing goes. Now, if you took me back to your 3D view, I want to show you, and I want to get up on a soapbox and I want to complain a little bit. That's your 3D view. Turn your section box off. Take me to an isometric view. Click on the corner cube. A lot of traps not working in that project. All right. On the ground floor, can you go down there and see the drains that are in there? Yeah, you know enough about drains. Perfect, right? Pick on that drain. What is that drain?
Plumbing fixture.
All right, here's my soapbox and here's my pitch. Everybody's going to hate this, though. The toilets and sinks should be drawn as well. So if you zoom out, you're going to find that when you go into where a bathroom is, you're going to be like, hey, Brian, where's the toilets and the sinks? How can I turn them on? You're not going to be able to turn them on. Okay. Take me to one of those areas that looks like a bathroom. You're doing great. Just zoom in a little bit closer to one of those areas. So my soapbox is we need to put those plumbing fixtures in. Everyone in the world's going to argue with me. I don't want to put those in my file. Those should be in the architectural file. Those are in the architectural file. And you're not wrong. Those are in the architectural file. However, it means you can't connect to them if they're not in this file. Okay. So I do recommend duplicating them. Typically, the ones that remain in the architectural file, what we have to do is we have to make sure that everywhere that they've put a toilet, we've put a toilet. And then your next idea is probably going to be, I could just copy all the toilets out of the architectural and paste them into the plumbing file, which is a great idea, except most of the toilets that are ever put into an architectural file are going to be wall hosted toilets. Okay. So one of the biggest jobs in the plumbing file, if you were to get plumbing and engineer drawings like what you're seeing here, I would consider this an engineering level drawing. We would need to get those toilets into the file, and the sinks and the water fountains and all the rest of those objects. Okay. So go ahead and close all unopened windows.
Brian, I'm stepping out to get a drink. I'll be right back.
You feel free, buddy. Good luck. Yes, we lost Tyler. I didn't even see him drop off.
No, I didn't either. I thought you were still here.
What was I having you do? No, close all unopened views.
Yep.
I want you to do a view.
Okay.
Create a schedule. Multi-category schedule. Schedules and quantities. Multi-category is perfect. I want you to do the category and the count. Double click. Wait.
No.
That's all right. Go back and click on your 3D view. Click on your 3D view. Do a WT. Now pick on that plumbing one and go over to the properties. Yep. Pick on the schedule. Pick on the schedule. You see where over in the properties it says sorting and grouping edit button?
Yeah.
Now getting there. Hit that edit. And I want you to sort by category. And take the check box off the bottom.
Good.
Good. If you
Now-
use your control in your Zoom, you can scroll that schedule up.
Now, what did that do exactly?
That's telling you have 31 air terminals. You got 150 duct fittings. You got 31 different duct systems. You got 181 ducts.
Okay, and that's all in this project, or is that just in the view that I'm looking at right now?
That's in this file.
Okay, okay.
I believe if you go back, you see how you're still in the schedule over on the properties. If you hit the fields edit,
Yeah.
see a little check box at the bottom?
This?
Any objects in linked files will now be included in that list. Nope. Just hit
Oh,
okay.
right.
Hit
The ones
okay.
down here?
This is the whole project. Those are all the objects in the files.
Okay, so hold on. So is it because we are just looking at the plumbing here?
Well, you would want to take that checkbox off the includes. Take that checkbox off the includes linked files. And zoom it up so we can all see it together.
Oh, control. I was pressing shift.
Jeff, we can see you, bud. I don't think you got a camera or a microphone on. Maybe now. What you up to, brother?
Oh, not a lot of.
We're just looking at a sample project.
The Snowden Towers.
You're familiar with it.
Yep. Always opens up read only in 2025. Oh, you're in 2024 though.
So one of the things you could do is you could pick on the duct fittings, duct systems, and ducts in that view. Click and drag across all three.
Drag across all three.
Yeah,
Just the ducts.
not pipes. Not well. You could do the pipes, and there you go. That's what I was thinking. Now use your roller click to activate the other view. Hit the eyeglasses and say isolate category, and all you would be seeing is all the ductwork.
Okay.
And what this would appear to tell you is they've got some kind of weird exhaust ducts drawn in the plumbing file. I don't know why you would do that. Can you pick on one of those little pieces of equipment, which are probably a plumbing fixture?
This, or you want me to?
Yeah, that little box. What is that thing? A tankless water heater. And they included the vent system on the tankless water heater. So you remember how
Because
when
they didn't know how to connect it through the model, like you were just saying about having the toilets in separate files because you want to be able to connect them.
Because the tankless water heater has to have the hot and the cold water. I can actually buy that. I can actually buy that. That's how you would do that, because it might be the plumbing guy's responsibility to do that. But it does tell us that there's no reason that you need to go do the supply and the return duct fix their colors. All you need to do is the pipes. See, this is why I write this schedule. So do your eyeglasses and reset your view and show me just the pipes.
Oh, just the pipes?
Yep, which would be, remember how you clicked and dragged on those?
Yeah.
Right? Click off the view. And all you've got is your domestics. And that makes sense to the hot water heaters. It all makes sense. But you remember how we need to go rewrite those colors for the type of pipes?
Yeah.
Right? Because we did it for the duct. We did it for the one object, but you should really do it for the cold water pipe and the domestic cold and the domestic hot. Here's what I want you to think about. You don't have to do it for every pipe system in there. If you scroll down to where the pipe systems were, keep going, you're going to find there's a lot of them in there, because there has to be one of every type, even if you don't use it for vent, sanitary, hydronic supply, hydronic return, all the 4 fire protections, domestic cold and domestic hot, even if they're not being used. But see, remember, I told you, this is what I do when I get a file from someone to find out about the file. So what I would do next, and you can see this from the first schedule that I wrote up, what are the most of the objects that are in this file? If you look at those numbers, what are the biggest numbers?
The pipes and the pipe
fittings, pipes, right? So that tells me I really should look at a pipe schedule. So make us a pipe schedule now.
Okay.
Right, you go down to pipes. And then there's going to be a couple down there, and you might want to do the different ones, but for right now, we're just going to do the pipes. Let's do, just to be fancy, let's do a size. See if you can, oh, no, you know what? I think it said diameter. It's not size. And let's do the length. and let's do the system abbreviation. Let's move that system abbreviation to be the first one in the list. Now go to your sorting tab. Make it just say by abbreviation. Take the itemize off. Say okay. Okay. So the reason we got all those, oh, you do me a favor, add one more. We do that by going to the fields. And I want you to add the count at the very end of the list. Perfect. So we got 745 pipes of the type of sanitary, but then all the rest of ours are getting messed up. Now, do you remember who typed in SAN?
I did.
Right. Go to domestic code.
Domestic cold.
In the browser. There you go. Domestic code. Double click and give it its abbreviation. None of the other ones had their abbreviation. CW.
CW.
Yep, cold water. Okay. Watch your schedule. Now you're going to find out how many cold waters there are. How about the hot waters? Give it a HW. And hit OK.
Could have sworn I hit okay the first time.
I hear you. You missed 92 pipes. What do you think they are? I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess vents. Try the vent and put a V.
Condensate.
Could be. Who's winning this bet? That wasn't vents. All right. Can you drag your schedule over to the other side? See, before I would have created that schedule, I would have made sure my side that the schedule was in was highlighted. Then it would have put it right on top of that. But if you go up there to where it says pipe schedule and sort of like tear that sheet out, drag. Yep. And now
it's roof drainage. It's roof drainage. It's not condensate because there's no condensate lines in here.
Okay. So Eric said he knew what it was. He said if you went to your roof drainage and put an RD, said okay. Okay. So notice what this schedule is now telling me is all the hot water is only 1/2 inch as all the size because it's all coming from those instant hot water heaters. However, the cold water, we have some different size pipe. You see how it says varies? It didn't used to say varies. In Revit 2020, it's just a blanked out value. Doesn't tell you that it varies because it's blank. That's supposed to tell you that it varies. So somewhere in the last 5 years, they fixed that. Nice job. Good job, Autodesk. So what we want to do is we want to, now if we were trying to give this schedule to someone so that they could quote how much it's going to cost to do this job, that diameter, if we sort by abbreviation and then by diameter, this schedule will look really nice and cool. First by abbreviation, then by diameter. And nope, none. Leave that none. Say, okay. Now, that length, we're going to do something even neater than that with it, all right? So what I want you to do is I want you to go over and pick on formatting. Go pick the word length. And down in the bottom, it says no calculation. I want you to say calculate totals. Okay? Now, this tells you that you need 1,288 feet of 1/2 inch pipe if you were going to pipe it exactly as they do. This would give you some areas where you could start to do quotations. See, this is what, and really what should happen is a BIM guy should really start helping those people in takeoffs, because you would be amazed at how they actually go figure all that stuff out. But you realize you can figure out. And the other thing, you see how it says for 4-inch sanitary line, we have 284 pieces.
Yeah.
Well, it tells you how many fittings you need to buy. Now, it doesn't tell you how many T's and how many elbows. We can write a schedule to do that, but it at least tells you that you got to put in 283 at a minimum fittings. That's the man hours to put those fittings in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you see here, if we wanted to see where were our roof drains, you could highlight both of those, but understand you're only going to be getting the pipes. This is only the pipes, not the pipe fittings. We could go into the other view and we could see where they're at, right? You got it already. That's why I wanted to run you through that a couple times. Isolate category.
It's being really slow.
What's it doing?
Uh,
What'd you stick in there? A hard drive?
I don't know, but it just crashed.
It just crashed?
It's a good sample project.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't save anything, so that kind of sucks.
Not really. We got it all copied on videotape.
That's true.
And I'll be honest with you. I know it seems like an utter waste of time. As soon as you get out of the houses, which really, we can start reviewing your houses now. I'd like you to go back and try to at least get lost in those files like we just did.
Yeah. I'm really curious as to why that just happened.
Well, it told you. You got to be aware of what it just told you, buddy. It just told you something's wrong with the roof drainage lines. And don't be surprised that you will find something is probably wrong with those roof drainage lines.
Especially if they're sloped. Slope piping, I thought they kind of got it in check, but I'm guessing not.
Yeah, well, we can't totally assume exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So that
Now,
would be like a Revit problem, right?
I would definitely say it was a Revit problem when your Revit just goes away like that. Absolutely. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to go to the plumbing and the HVAC files. The only where we were really at was I wanted to flip through all the sheets. So if you just go down to the sheets and take me through the rest of the sheets. These were the ones that we had played with putting the names on, right?
Yeah, these are all just the levels.
Uh-huh. Why would you do an RCP sanitary?
That's the underground.
Not really it's not really a realistic job. And we're going to show you with the school what we actually need to set up. But I don't think you'd typically do RCPs for that. The only reason that I might see doing the RCPs is so that you could see the structure above, so you could see where to put the hangers, but that's not really a good idea. And what sanitary would you have on the roof? Nothing.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Once again, you see those risers? I want you to zoom into one of those riser drawings, zoom into one of the bathrooms, see what they tried to do to get their bathroom to work.
Bathroom, is it? No.
Yep, no, zoom into one of those where you are. Zoom in and just give it a second to calm down on my screen. Hold on. So you don't see any sinks. I don't
Yep.
know. Those are some ugly ass views. I personally, I don't look too highly at the plumbing. I would expect your drawings to be much better. Your drawings had better be much better than that. On top of that, boy, look at the nightmare where they've run that pipe underneath the floor. Zoom out just a hair. Right in line with the bottom web of that joist is probably clipping through that joist. As a matter of fact, you can see it's going through the joist.
Yeah.
Highlight, if you activate that view and highlight that area and do a BX. Yep. And then do the BX. It looks like, yeah, right there. No, it doesn't clip it. But if they have tail extensions, it's going to be a problem. And the tail extensions don't normally get modeled, they get detailed. You know why that view is looking so ugly again? Because remember what we did was we did a VV and we hid all the Revit links. How do you hide the Revit links? And then the other was the section boxes. Or
Scope
scope
boxes.
boxes.
You just
I
hit those
didn't
in
view
view, right?
category. Yep. And you see what I would typically do. And then the last thing that we did was we changed the scale to about 3/4 of an inch.
3/4.
And that's because pipes and ducts have such a heavy weight by category. Okay. I just want to show everyone that, and you as well. If you go to the manage and go to object styles and scroll down to pipes and pipe fittings, you would see that the pipes are 6 and the pipe fittings are 6.
Yeah.
That's what's causing that to happen. And in the typical project, that's too heavy, especially if you apply the colors the way I showed you. You remember how we got the light green inside of the green?
Yeah.
For the pipes?
Yeah.
That's what you really need to do. Can you take me where do they show the roof leaders? You can cancel out of that or hit escape and it'll get you out.
The roof leaders?
I see domestic water and I see sanitary risers section that we're in. And if you scroll up, there's sanitary.
These are all the sheets.
They probably called it. Go to that roof sanitary one.
I think I have it open.
You have to tag it, I think.
No, I don't think they put a roof drainage in. I don't see anything going to the roof lines. And that view there looks beauty as heck. Let's zoom into that one right there. Look at how you're losing some stuff in the middle. What are those white boxes? Double click to get into view.
All right.
Pick on it. Can you?
Oh, I am. I am in a view.
Yeah. Now pick on that white object. If you can't pick it, that means it's coming from a linked object. So you need to do the select links. Now you would tab. Hover over it and tab. And there you go. Yeah, that's what you want to pick. That's the heat recovery unit. I don't know what they had planned for that roof, but it does not look like it's working too good. And probably is related to the cut plane. But I don't understand why they don't have any roof. They drew the roof lines, the roof drainage, but don't use it. Is there one? There is one up there. Yeah, that would probably be. The cut plane is at 4. Is above 4 foot to the bottom. That bottom one's the one that's killing them, and that's actually applied by a view template. That's pretty funny.
Template, view template.
Yep, that's why you couldn't change that. Remember, you could change it here, but you got to remember it changes it to a bunch of objects. That's where typically what I do is I knock that to none, and I try to get mine working correctly. See, now you can change your view range. And I'll bet if your view range bottom. Oh, because this is a ceiling plan. That's why that view's all messed up. That's why that view's messed up. It's a ceiling plan.
Oh. So you can't change the cut plane on ceiling
You
plan?
can't. There is no bottom. There is no bottom like there is when you're looking down. A reflected ceiling plan is looking up, but keeping the same orientation. It's like looking in a mirror. So the RCP is a little bit different. And all the projects I've ever worked in, very few of them actually do RCPs in a plumbing file. But plumbing files are a little bit of a challenge because how we show a drain line with a vent can be a little bit tricky. It's probably one of the hardest views to get set up. But shame on whoever did this sample project because they never documented those roof drains on the top. Remember the roof drains that we had decided were in this project? They never documented them. I don't see them anywhere in your sheet list. They are not on that sheet list.
No, I don't see them either.
But when we did the schedule, they were there.
Yeah.
And see, if you were to go into that roof sanitary, and what we're probably would be looking at is that top view. Zoom out a little bit on your screen. See the top view that has nothing in it?
Yeah.
R2. That might be a bold assumption. Where is level R2 at? Nope. The way I would answer that question is go into that R2 view. Double click on one of those sections. Yep, don't care which one. Go look at your level markers on the side. Yep. See the R1, R2 at the top?
Yeah. Oh, they have 2 levels on the roof then.
There's an upper roof and a lower roof. That's exactly right. And that's what those stand for.
Yeah.
I get a kick out of this one, Eric. Zoom out a little bit. All right. Now pan down.
Pan down. Oh.
The other way. Look at how L1 says block 37.
Okay.
Someone typed in block 37 on it. Should say L1, L2. It should say
Yeah.
L1, L2. So that tells me someone named that level line. See level L1 block 37?
Or they probably named the view name block 37 without realizing it was the one tied to the level line.
Correct. And it did the rename thing. But either way, why would you not have a level at 0?
Yeah. would that just be their parking or?
No, 0 would be above the level 1 because level 1's at -3 feet. Level 2's at 8 feet. So
Oh,
level
yeah, you're
0
right.
would be 0.
I got you.
Can you put it? Oh yeah, that would be like 12 foot. I don't know why they didn't. Maybe that other line where the stairs spring from. Maybe that's at 0. No, that wouldn't be at 0 either. You see the stairs coming down the sheet
Right above your L1 block
right there,
37.
right there. Put
Yeah.
an elevation. Put an elevation mark right on that floor slab at that last one. Annotate spot elevation
At the bottom?
right on the floor. See, that's at -2. That makes absolutely 0 sense. All right, I've had enough fun with that one. Can you open up the mechanical one?
I'll tell you, the structural one is
All
about
right,
as bad
here's
as
an
I've
interesting
seen.
thing when you do this.
Okay.
You have to
All right.
close out of it.
No, watch. Here's another way to do this. Down at the view links at the bottom of your browser,
Yeah.
go down to the HVAC.
Second
Right
from the bottom.
click on the HVAC. No,
said
right
right-click.
click on it. Say open it and unload. Open and unload. It's the second one from the or top from third from top. Say okay. And that would open the mechanical file. It's telling you here that it can't find a link, which is good because I'm going to show you how to get that. You just say ignore and continue opening.
That's the plumbing one, though.
That's exactly right. Now, it will not allow you to load the plumbing in here because you have the plumbing open.
Right.
But that's not the end of the day. So what do they have? Just scroll me through the sheets, cover sheet. So that's absolutely ridiculous. What we're already seeing, we called, there's no reason those images should be in that file. Okay. Now, if we wanted that on all the cover sheets, that would be fine. It should have been in the cover sheet border so that if the architect decides, oh, we can't use that one photo in the upper right because it's copyrighted and he needs to delete it, now you've made it so that every one of these files would have to go delete it. Okay? That's bad practice.
Yeah.
Just to reconfirm, how do we make sure that our project number and our project phase and all of our project information matches the architect? Because this is the first time we're going into the HVAC. We go manage, transfer project standards.
Oh, yes.
Right? Well, no, you got to make sure it's in the architectural file. Get the architectural. There you go. Now say check none. Then go down. You can type in P for project information if you wanted, but
I don't think it worked. No,
there it is.
Yeah.
Right there. Project information. And overwrite. Okay. Now we will be confirmed that all the project information from the architect is updated in here, including what job status, what revision date, all of that kind of stuff. Okay. It did that match. Now, they did the exact same thing here. And what they did was an architect thought they understood what a mechanical drawing was, and they were able to put in mechanical drawings, but you're going to notice that all they have is each one of the levels ductwork and then each one of the RCPs ductwork. They didn't really spend a whole heck of a lot of time doing that. So this is a great opportunity for us to show you what needs to be in these drawings. But take me down to that M101.
Can I close all the other views?
Absolutely. You can always do that.
What is this?
That is the other project. That is the plumbing project. If you close that, close it with the X. It's going to say you want to save. You can say yes or no. I don't care.
Okay.
Typically, if you're going to save it, like when you apply those colors and stuff, I want you to take ownership of that file. Now, I'll be honest, I like the way they named the files, with the exception of the HVAC. Zoom me into one of those boxes where the ductwork are coming out of. What is an HRU, Eric? Heat
return
recovery unit.
Is it heat recovery?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is that powered by? Just power. It looks like it.
There's a power thing off to the right, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm saying it doesn't have hydronic supply in return.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. I've seen just about enough. You can zoom to a full sheet. Once again, I would like to get those sheets looking much better than that. We're going to get them looking a heck of a lot nicer than that, in all honesty.
Yeah.
Scroll me down through the sheets. I know they're going to be very similar.
To be honest, based off of this,
why did that first one have 3 borders? Can you show me that?
the first one.
Yeah, it has 3 title blocks.
Oh, I don't know. Did they split it because they couldn't fit it all?
Yeah, that's what did it right there. That's what did it right there. That's why your levels are off. Because they have 4 different level 1s or 3 different level 1s. You see how they have L1, block 35, block 37, block 43? If you looked at a section going across the building, it would make more sense to you. They don't have any sections right across there. Draw one in. Go to your second level and draw it in. Yep. Draw me a section. It's probably going to tell you it's off. Draw across the whole page. Yep, perfect. Perfect. Now double click on that guy at the end. Now go out and look where the L1s. Oh, goodness gracious.
They're not even all at the end.
Oh God.
No,
all right.
they're
So
everywhere.
First thing you'd want to do is do a VV and turn off all the links.
Oh yeah, all the links.
Nice sample project.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you saw it, but there was one that wasn't even on. It wasn't even highlighted blue, so you couldn't. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that means that. What does that tell you?
I can't go to it. It's not on.
There is no corresponding level to that line.
Yeah.
Or if it is, it's a different name. Stretch your crop box down a little bit. All right. See what they've got. So block 43's level 1 line is at 0, 0.
Yeah.
So they got 3 different L1s. So we were able to answer our question, what was going on down there.
So the building traverses multiple blocks? Is that what's like?
If he went to a 3D view, hit your house. See, this one has the site in there as well. And now that we've closed the plumbing file, you could actually reload your plumbing file down there in the browser. Your links, if you right clicked on it and said reload. Now your plumbing is in there as well.
Right.
Now, so what they did is they have that site. And that site is more than just a site. It's all the surrounding buildings as well. If you turn that link off, VV, Revit link, turn the site off. and you looked at this from the front view, click on the front of the cube, you would see, Eric, that the upper levels are supposed to match. Oh, it's coming. You do have to move your mouse after you click on it. That's where you would get the feel for the level 1 is going downhill.
I understand.
You understand it now?
Yep. That's hard.
I do not like.
But
the
are
way-
all the L2s lined up?
No. Nope. They've got L2s at 2 different elevations. Good catch.
I do not
There's
like
really
this.
no level. There's
You don't
no,
like that? Nobody likes that.
Uh-uh.
Okay. So do your VV and turn off all your other links for a second.
Uh-oh.
All right. Pick one of those level lines. Go to edit type. Rename it.
Rename.
Rename. And name it HVAC level. Because we're in the HVAC drawings. Say okay. All right. Pick one of the other ones like an L3 or something like that. That's a little bit higher up. You see how it says it's an HVAC level? Right?
Yeah.
All right. So what we're going to do now is let's turn all those Revit links back on. And what we just did was we named our level lines a little bit different than everyone else's. Because the generic model. You can turn the site one off if you want. That's fine. All right. So the people have a terrible time of trying to fix that. Now I'm going to show you first the wrong way, then the right way. So if you went VV and you went to Revit links and you went to the architecture, you see how it says by host view?
Yeah.
You could change that, click on there, and you could say by a linked view or by custom. And then if you do custom, then you could go annotation categories and turn those level lines off. Don't do it because we're not going to do it that way. You would then have to do this to every one of those guys. So what we're going to do to prevent that from happening, a lot of people are still doing that and wasting oodles of time. Here's a much faster way to do it. Hit cancel. We're going to write a filter. You can do a cancel one more time, but we're going to come right back. Oh, you actually went to it. Perfect. Right here, you're going to make a filter. Say add. Edit new. And I typically name this non-active grids and levels. So do a little new marker and say non-active grids and levels.
This.
That one right there. Non-active grids and levels. Hit okay. And just go pick a level out of that middle checkbox.
A level.
Level. There you go. Now, over on the side, we're going to add a rule to it. See where it says none?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's make that say name. And let's see under the equal, say equals. And then hit that arrow and see what we've got. See, that's the name of it. I want not the name, but the type name. So I showed you that because I never really know which one to get. So let's go for the type name. Do that. See how it's got that HVAC level?
Yeah.
And what we're going to say is if it doesn't equal HVAC level, or more importantly, we're going to say if it does not begin where it says equals, make it say does not begin with.
Oh, it does not begin with.
Uh-huh. And then type in HVAC. And now we say okay. And okay. And okay. Add it. You didn't add it. VV. That's all right. It's still there. VV. Add. Find the non-active grids and levels. Say okay. Turn the visibility off. And now all of a sudden, you'll make your views look so much better. Blink.
That's insane.
All right.
that is a lot of, I don't know. That's just a. Whew. That's gonna
Well,
take some
and
getting used to.
if you notice, I set it to grids and levels. If you zoomed out, you would notice the level lines or the column lines. Can you pick on one of the column lines, the 1, 2, 3 at the top? Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The reason you can't change the size of it is because it's attached to the scope box. Do me a favor, go to one of the plan views.
Okay.
Yep, that'd be fine. See, you can get that same problem with the column grid as well, but you're not having it in this one because they're all attached to scope boxes. So if you double clicked in that plan view and you went to one of your level lines to try to stretch the column grid, see how you can't stretch the column grid at the side? It says, oh, I guess maybe you can too. No, it's locked because it's locked to a scope box.
Oh, I see. Wait, why is this?
You can't see the scope box that it's locked to. It
No.
shows up when you're seeing it, but if you look in your properties, you see up in your properties, the first thing in the property says scope box grids.
Yeah,
Make
I
that
see.
say none. See, now you could stretch those column grids. Right? Only the one you've got.
No.
So how did they turn the other grid lines off, Eric?
From the other models,
Yeah.
they didn't have the prefix of HVAC on the column grids, correct?
No, we did that. Do a VV and show me the Revit links. See if they did that nonsense.
They probably
don't.
did that thing where you have, I would say you have to avoid by go to Revit links at the end, and they're set to match what the main model does. Looks like no, it's by host view.
Yeah. So
Was there another filter? Click on the filter tab. Just the ones we did.
Oh, they got not M level or grids. And it turns the visibility off.
Oh, that's not the one you created?
No.
No, that's one they created to do M level grids only.
But what's M level grids? Does it say M? Did they say M in front?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it does. It's probably the master level. So it's a very similar process to what I was
Click
doing.
on edit new down there at the bottom. Yeah, okay.
So it's
Does not
exactly
begin
what I
with M.
did, but they didn't fix their levels, they fixed their grids. Hit
Okay,
cancel.
yeah.
If you hit cancel, and you see where that says enable filter, turn that enable filter off. Yep. The first one. It won't.
It won't let you?
Yeah, I'm clicking. It won't do nothing.
He's in a template, I believe.
It's a template view. Yep,
Yeah.
it is a template view.
Couldn't I edit the template?
Yeah, or you could remove the template. Either one of those choices is correct.
And then VV filters.
Yep. So that thing did exactly that. Now look at the grid line 6s and the grid line 5. Something has got a blown grid level. Can you see it?
A
Can you
blown
see
grid level?
see grid line 1? There.
Oh yeah. One of them's off by a couple feet to the left.
Uh-huh. Which one is that?
You'd have
I
to
know.
select it.
It's the one Eric clicked on.
Why is it the one I clicked on?
I'm just being an asshole. That's the one. Pick on that.
One.
That one. Yep. That one's the one that's bad. That is your plumbing file is bad.
See, it would need to be dragged back over, and then you would also need to make sure it looks like the D's or it looks like some of the horizontals are slightly off as well.
They are. They are.
That's
Look over at your E and your D line as well.
Couldn't
That's
I just?
pretty funny.
Couldn't I
You
just
could
do
do it
an
a
MD?
line. Now listen, if you were going to do what you're trying to do, here's the proper way to do it.
Okay.
Do your VV again. Go to your filters. Now remember, this isn't using my filter. This is using their M filter. Say, enable that filter. But I want you to take the lines and I want you to make them be purple.
You're also going to have to turn the visibility on.
And okay. Turn the visibility on, like Eric said, and say okay. Now, this means all grids that are not in your file are going to be purple. Okay?
Okay.
So we know it's a grid from another file that's giving us the problem. Now, if you picked one of those white grid lines, now the purple grid line next to it, hold your control button so you have both selected. It's going to select the Revit link. That's good. Pick that. Now go down to your eyeglasses and say isolate category. Oh, yeah. Now all you would do is an alignment. It's double escape. And you would align your white grid line to that level 1. To the number 1 in the purple over beside it. And then you would go down to your E, A, B, C, D stuff on the side and get one of them. Zoom in real close. You'll see one of them guys is slightly off. You're going, the white is the good, the pink is the bad. Uh-huh. And then the one down below. Right? Now they're all lined up again. Someone moved the plumbing file. Is that really true, Eric?
I bet if you called them on it, they would claim that they did that intentionally to see if people would catch it.
Did you open it on yours? Is it really that way out of the box?
Let me see. I'll check structural.
They'll check HVAC.
Well, I'm in the structural right now.
Oh. Now you could, and see, I usually like to have one sheet that has all the Revit links in my file, just my levels on. See, this is where what I would do is I would duplicate a view, or in all honesty, I would probably just make a brand new view. So why don't we do that? So go view, plan view. Plan view. There you go. floor plan. I always like to do this when I get a new file too. I like to take that checkbox off the bottom. This tells me all the levels that are in this file. Okay.
Yeah.
So just go ahead and pick L2. You could pick any of them. Say okay. Okay. Now, let's take a look at what we can turn on and off. If you did a VV, and it created it with a new template. Hold on. Let's take the template view off. Perfect.
I'm
Now you
getting
do your
faster.
VV. All right. If we took the checkbox up at the top off, which is show model categories, yep, turn that off. It's going to turn off all model objects. Go ahead and hit OK.
Structural definitely has the filter set up that way so that the column grids are covered.
Or the column grids lined up to each other.
I can't get the other ones to appear. I don't know. I'm thinking they're not linked in or something. Yeah, they're not turned on. HVAC, plumbing. So let's see
All
it
right.
now.
Give me a second with Nathan. Go to your
Mhm.
VV. Go to that that filter that was on there. Yep. Turn its visibility. Nope. Visibility on and make the lines purple. You see how you can have this view only have your grid lines on. So every now and then you go into the sheet to make sure that one of your objects didn't move. If you picked one of the purple grid lines, just one of the purple Revit links, yep, that was perfect. Use your nudge arrow 2 times to the left and 2 times to the up. You see how you can tell which one's off?
Yeah.
Right?
That was HVAC that we found that flaw in, right?
Yep.
I have a question. Since I have all of them selected, couldn't I just use the move command as well?
No, what I was trying to show you is if you click off the screen, you should now instantly know something is wrong with your file by going to this view. This view I generally call check grids.
Okay. And you would just create this view, right?
I would create that view because otherwise what's going to happen one day is you're going to be going in there and you're going to be moving pipe and moving duct trying to get things to fit. And you're not going to realize, like they didn't, that the plumbing file was moved. And you're going to be moving all this ductwork out of pipe that's not actually even there.
Yeah.
Then when it gets into the right spot, you're going to be like, oh, damn, I mean, I got to redo all that.
So just so I understand, all of these level lines and yeah,
Column
these
lines. Those are column lines.
Okay. So all of these are spread across all the files that I have. So that's the mechanical, the plumbing, the architectural.
They're duplicated. Everyone's got those in their file.
Okay. And this is showing me all the ones throughout all the files, right?
Yep.
On top of each other?
They should be on top of each other. If they're not on top of each other, you've got a problem. That's where we defined that we had a problem in the plumbing file, in the HVAC. Was that correct there?
I'm pulling. I just had to turn the template off. Yes, it is out of line, and I didn't move any elements.
Okay, so you're seeing, I mean, we didn't set this up for you. This came from a sample project. It happened.
See right there?
Yep.
That's exactly how it came up. So he did not do anything to that.
And it's not that hard to move that alignment.
Yeah.
You saw how you just align it to the white object. To whichever one's not on top. Now, you see, that would be you did that wrong. You got to go to the white object. The white object is the one you own. I know the result might have been the same, but it's that object that you want to align to. That is the grid in your file.
Okay, I see. So
Okay.
how do I get that line in particular? Because like
it's going to that line. That's the active line. Yep, it absolutely would go to that line.
Okay.
And now you would have to go over in the other direction and do the same thing to the white. Now you're right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a common problem that you can get because you don't have that problem if you have that locked linked files on, because then you don't accidentally move it. So this would be a great time to turn the locked link off. But sometimes we need to turn that locked link off so that you can select the object to find out what that thing is. And then there you would just turn the visibility off for those, in all your other views. In all other views, what they made was not M levels or grids. And that's where I would personally, they only did it to the grids. They didn't fix the levels. So they had the exact same thing. I swear to God, I wonder if they found one of my files, because I've been doing that for 10 years. I call it not active levels and grids. And then that filter, you can actually copy that filter from this file to your plumbing file. And what you do is you name your grids, plumbing grids, your grids, HVAC grids, your grids, architectural grids, your grids, structural grids, then your filters still work. So if you hit cancel and you pick one of those white grids, what is its name? I'm guessing it's named M column, M grid. So they tried to do what I was doing, except they only selected one of their level lines. That was what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Did they have an electrical file too?
Yep.
Show me it, Eric. Talk them through it. You're my expert. What's that?
I just opened mechanical. You gotta let me close out and get the other one.
Well, he's still opening electrical. I'm going to walk away from the computer for a couple minutes. Will you walk him through the electrical and then have something to tell me about that's bad about how they've set it up? Even if it's just the same stuff, I'll be right back. I need 5 minutes.
Okay. Oh, you got it open. Okay. Just go ahead and go through the sheets of the electrical one, see what we're looking at.
Oh. They didn't have this on the other one. The notes and the symbols.
Yeah, I found that when I was showing you these the other day, if you remember. And then this is going to be all your distribution stuff, schedules, and just I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And there's, as I went through these last time, there's not a tremendous amount of information on these guys.
No.
You're basically just getting your lights and your power supplies. If you zoom in, go ahead and go. You might be able to zoom in here. Let's see what we're seeing. So yeah, there's your power supplies. So the 3G, or there's a 2 GFCIs, and yeah, right there in that CTR, you can see those are going to panel 304, and then which circuits they are, circuit 2, 3, and 4.
Panel 304.
Yeah, so that's panel 304 right there. So all of that stuff is, I don't know, I didn't look at the electrical system itself, but it looks like it's got panels placed throughout rather than one big electrical room that houses all that.
I see. So all these rooms are they're not going to a specific electrical room. They're just going to the panels that are.
Yes. So I'm guessing these are individual units, like an apartment. So apartment P301 or apartment 304 needs to have its own panel. So if anything goes on, and then you've got the P300, it's probably going to supply the corridor as well as the 301.
Yeah. And are these your panels right here?
No, those are your outlets. Your panels are the square boxes that the ones right outside the bathroom in the unit right there. It says P304 right above the rectangular box in the wall, on the wing wall. A little bit to the right, right? Nope. Come back into the room right there. That guy right there is your panel.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so you see how you have the conduit, the big conduits coming out of the corridor to feed the power, and then there's just there probably won't even be little conduits. I'm not sure exactly how they're running that to the outlets, but that panel will get power and then disperse it out to the rest of the stuff in that. But I'm guessing it would power the lights as well.
Yeah.
So if we're in the power plan here, go to P or go to the lighting plan L3. Ironically, the P304 that we were looking at does not look like they're powering back to the panel, but I think that's just missing information. But you'll see there, those are all going to the panel in 303. Is that the one we were looking at? I'm not seeing the bathroom the same. I think we were looking at the one up further north. Yeah. So the one right above that does not have the information for Studio Unit 304. I'm not sure why. They must have just not gotten it done.
What's up with the money symbols?
Those are your switches. Those are your light switches. So you got 2 light switches inside the door, and then you got a triple set light switch. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at what they're calling out there. They might have 3 separate switches in there. What would you have 3 switches for? Oh, one for each of those lights?
One for the fan, one for the vanity lights, and one for the above lights.
But then, do we have any sections in here?
No.
I'm guessing. Go ahead and draw us a section, and let's just take a quick look and see that they've got the same mismatch on the column grids.
Good God.
You'd have to turn the view template off.
There is none.
Huh. Okay, then go to filters. Right here. Huh.
Go to Revit links.
Revit links aren't turned on. Yeah, they are. So how are they not showing? Are they using scope boxes to get those column grids on the only ones?
I don't know. You're saying the level lines, they probably don't need, they have the links turned on.
And there's no filter telling them to turn those off.
The view type is discipline electrical. I would bet those level lines are all there.
And you think they're lined up?
Yep. Go zoom out. Show me just column line number 1.
Yeah, the column lines is only one unit.
Take that column line number 1, pick it. Type in HH. See, now that's your one from your Revit link.
Well, how is that possible?
They're all in the same spot because they're all going to a crop boundary, because this crop boundary is smaller than any other one on the project. So he doesn't have the problem. But what he does have the problem is there are 8 or 7 grid lines on top of each other. If you pick that grid line, it's going to select the whole. Nope, not number 2, the number 1. Pick it. Can't pick it. It's because your locked links are on.
Oh yeah. No, it wasn't.
Still can't pick it. If you still can't pick it, it's because your locked pin dot is on or something.
Underlay elements.
Oh, no. You need to select it inside the crop boundary. You can't select it outside the crop boundary. Inside. Zoom in closer. To that
right
area.
Here.
Yeah, that's where you need to pick it at. There's a little section. Go to the top of the wall. Where's the top of the wall?
Oh no, you actually got something else.
Take it. And that's your electrical. No.
Plumbing.
That's your plumbing.
So how did they keep them all lined up in this one, but not in the other one? Because in the
Because
other
this
one,
one
they've
has
even got them
this one has
higher and
smaller
lower.
crop boundary than any other view. That's the reason why.
So the crop boundary can kind of deceive me then?
No. No, what's happening is you still have all of those column lines on right now. See, right now you're actually just selecting. What is the B? Did you do a tab?
No.
Zoom in there again. And pan down so that I can see this bubble. Nope, the other way. All right. Click once in white space or black space. Now pick on that white line just above the tip of the wall, in right there. Pick. That is your plumbing file. Okay. If you did an HH, now pick that same spot. That is your architectural file, HH. That is your structural file, HH. So you have 5 copies of every grid on top of each other. But don't realize it because your crop boundary is so small. Okay? So turn everything back on, reset your damn eyeglasses. Now this time pick the crop boundary and drag the crop boundary down to L5. Zoom out a little bit more. Oh, you got it. L5. Notice that all the bubbles will come down and be in the same spot. But the break lines aren't at the same spot, right? You see, that's why all those lines look solid.
Yeah, I got you.
You talking about the break lines for the columns right here?
What's that?
Are you talking about the break line? What break lines are you talking about?
When you look at the
line.
column, it should be a line, a gap, a dash, a gap.
Right.
But because none of those line up, you have so much overlap that it appears as one line.
Right. Those center line styles are all on top of each other, and thus making the line style look like it's a solid line.
Oh, okay, I see.
Bad practice. And the same thing's happening with the level lines too. The exact same thing's happening with the level line.
Yep.
Now, what most people don't understand, here's a shocker. A structural file level 1 should not typically be in the same place as the architectural file level 1, because the architectural level file for level 1 should be to the finished floor, where in structure they usually go to the top of the steel, so they usually go to the underside of the deck. You understand what I'm saying there? See, in other words, if I'm doing a structural file, when I teach you to do structural drawings, we're not going to set up a level line for the 3rd floor to be at the same location as the architect is, because we want to go to the top of the steel, not to the top of the concrete deck, because that's how they generally work, the top of steel. Okay. So a structural level lines should usually be 5.5, 6.5, whatever the slab thickness size is. It should be different, which is all the more reason that we need to have this mentality where we make our it really amazes me that they use that same idea, because I know I wrote videos up about it 10 years ago, so wouldn't be surprised. I have seen things that I do, been in drawings that I receive, where I'm like, I think that person learned that from a video that I made a very long time ago. Not trying to take the credit for it. The idea of having non-active grids and levels, and then you make the filter say, if it's in the HVAC drawing, turn everything off that's not an HVAC grid or an HVAC level. If you're in the plumbing file, you make it say not the plumbing stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do me a favor, do a VV and show me all your filters that are in this file. Say add. And that's going to show me all the filters that they've actually got. So do they have not electrical grids? So by putting that on, turning the visibility off, you would take care of that problem that we were just talking about. You should now see dashes in all the lines. See how much better it looks?
Yeah.
See that?
Yes. Yeah.
They just never applied that. And they did what? So electrical, they do power plans and lighting plans. Is that?
Well, he
you would
just
say
cut that section so that wouldn't have anything applied to it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
under that
understood.
section, yeah.
Understood. But they didn't. But they never had. I mean, they had the good idea in there. They just never got their filter to update it.
Correct.
And what did the power plan? Show me one of their power plans again. Did it have good legends on it?
No, there was they had the under note symbols and sheet lists. If you went to sheet E002, that's what they had.
Okay.
And then they had this.
And
then they had a
the
sheet of
distribution.
schedules.
And then they have panels at the end, which we didn't get to yet, but
Panel schedules.
Panel
What
schedules.
did the 3D look like? With no Revit links on?
the cover sheet. Oh,
No, I wanted them to go to that one and turn off all your links.
Turn them all off?
Yep. I just want to see what's in your file. What are those purple things that are like the size of the floor?
It's the floor. Looks like it's the floor outline.
They put floors in?
They must have.
Nah, pick on one of them pink things. Pick on
No,
one
there
of
might
them
be
pink
areas.
Area-based load boundary.
I don't know what that is.
That's electrical. That's for electrical design. Always change your stuff to fine so we can see everything. See, some of those conduit were still single lines.
It's really just a lot of power outlets, switches, and the panels. There wasn't a ton of conduit. It was only a little bit for the lighting.
Which is typical.
It's lighting and then the power from the main panels to the sub panels.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. So these purple lines are just like drawing boundaries, kind of?
Yeah, those are boundaries for where that electrical panel's feeding, more than likely.
Okay. Oh, so it shows you where it shows you where the electrical is like
I'm
cut
guessing they had to draw that in. I don't know. What was that line type again? It was an area-based load boundary.
I'll do a little research on that.
Do a little research on that, Eric. I want to know a little bit more. If that may be something new that they've added. I don't
that's
remember.
maybe why I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, if you went to systems,
If I went to systems
tab across the top, around the electrical area, do we have a load boundary? Yeah, Eric, see if you can find out how that load boundary ends up going in and how it works.
Okay.
MEP fabrication ductwork stiffener.
we see that. Oh,
Yeah, that's where I saw it. All right, let's go to the fun one. Let's go back to 2020 and let's look at where you got to, where you're stuck at.
You got while you're switching over. Do you mind if I show something real quick?
Nope. Share your screen, baby.
All right.
I apologize. That's all I need you to do is just chip in like that. Remember what we were going to do, Nathan? We were going to flip through the sheets. You're going to show me the sheets.
This will only take a sec. I just got a quick question. I gotta find it. Hold on. This guy was asking me how to draw something.
And you told him you don't draw somethings.
Yeah, well, I know this guy too. I've met him at a few workshops. Landscape. Oh, yeah. He wants. So, yeah, he has all this drawn parametrically in Grasshopper. So he wants the proper way to draw the bottom plate and the countertop. Ideally, he's looking for a sweep. Blah,
The
blah,
bottom
blah.
plate mean that kick plate or whatever that is?
Yeah, but my question is, of course, I'm going to say direct shape is the proper way. But I figure you might have other ideas of the best way to draw this counter. Or how would you do it? Looks like it's curved on the top, and it's got the bull nose.
Yeah.
On the counter.
Yeah.
And then that sweep down below. Just a rough answer would be fine.
What about that filler in the wall between the two?
All that junk in the middle?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that is. Yeah, I mean, my response is like, it kind of depends what you're outputting, right? Like, but it sounds like I don't know if they're going to detail it and need all that detail, or what they're trying to do. It's kind of, context is really important, but I know you had a few different ways of drawing counters.
Yeah. And that counter is curved, I'm assuming.
It looks like that the long part up top is curved.
It looks like they're both curved to me.
That'll work.
All right, give me 1 second. All right. So the first part you have there is just that extrusion. A curved countertop. That's about 8 foot. That's about what that looks like. All right. Let's assume that thing's about 6 inches.
Are you drawing something or something?
Yep.
Oh.
Bear with me.
So you're in a what type of family?
Generic model. So there's your first part, right? That's the wall. Then I'd create a void. You know, I always do that by creating this way. Let's see. I'd come out here to the perpendicular, go something like this, drawing a shape to change my transaction counter. This would be the transaction counter, and I'd take this guy and I'd make this a void, and I'd cut. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we've got that last step of making the countertop. Well, not even the last step. Next step would be create Sweep. Steal this path.
So you're just going to build it with sweeps.
Yep. Well,
All right.
the top sweep's the interesting one. Give me a second.
Sorry.
That's the first step, right?
Yep.
Next step is to put the 2 countertops on. Is that what yours look like? I'm going to go back to yours for a second, Jaffe.
All right. Let me put it on my screen.
Yep, please do. So we don't go into the death zone. So that's that bottom piece. You could put the curves in there that you wanted. The top 2 countertops are a little bit trickier. I'm going to go back to mine. The top 2 countertops, what I'd probably do is create an extrusion. Then I'd steal these edges, 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll see that they made this bottom edge. Let's assume that goes out a foot or 8 inches overhang on either side. With a move, I'd tab, and I'd get that. Then the important part, you got to put a little bit of a radius on these corners. Okay. 1/4 inch minimum. You don't want to go less than 1/4. You can go more, but then I would steal those edges. So this guy would then get stretched up to there. Be a little bit higher than that. If you actually wanted to figure it out, you could figure out the 2-inch thickness, whatever the heck it is. But then to put that top radius, that top fillet on there, you had to have those things pre-radius so that you can then come in and say, create, sweep, pick the path. I didn't think it would do the tab. You know what? I thought it did do the tab. Nope. So you got to steal all the way around. Finish that. Edit the profile. Draw this line from here to here. Go with the arc. Finish and finish. And I believe you could even join those together, getting the shape you're looking for.
That's it. Unfortunately, he probably spent weeks doing his grasshopper definition to make a parametric one.
Well, it is nicer when they are parametric. I will give you that.
No, oh no, that's what.
That
I
makes
didn't know if
sense.
there was, because didn't you used to do some counters out of some different objects like railings or?
Yep, we're gonna make countertops out of railings. We're gonna make them as a loadable. We're gonna make them out of casework.
Gotcha.
The casework one, that is my favorite type family, is the one that's the casework where that you can throw your bottom cabinets, your countertop, and your wall cabinets, or any one of those parts. But you got something else? So let me see what you're looking at.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're
I got
looking at
something.
mine.
No. So this is kind of cool. I'll just show you this real quick, off topic. So it's this research paper, structured 3D, like so for different Chat GPT and some of the other ones. So you give it a single image, right, and it gives you back a 3D model. And they have a demo where you could drag and drop the image.
Yeah.
So this is, I dragged and dropped an image. So this is what it gives you in about 30 seconds.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that nuts? It's giving me problems today though for some reason. Let's see. I was looking at where was this?
Look up a fan coil unit. Oh,
Um,
this. Yeah, that was what I was thinking. See one of those images down below? See, I was curious what it would do with that image right there.
that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because they're pretty low res. Need a decent image. But like I said, it's giving me errors today. Maybe I broke it. I think you can just generate. I've been getting this. Yeah, see something. Either I did it too many times yesterday and it's locking me out.
Gotcha.
Or there's something going on.
Image to 3D assets.
Yeah,
That's pretty slick. That's pretty slick.
I'll put a link to the paper and then you click this demo. But yeah, it's cool. I did a couple of them yesterday. Because it does the texture mapping.
It does the texture mapping as well.
You know. Yeah, somebody put in a car.
Hey.
Yeah, that one didn't turn out too good.
You did the car?
What's that?
Did you do the car?
Nope. No, I did this one. I figured out you gotta adjust some gain.
And what's it convert them to? Rhino?
Nope. It's the GLB file format.
Uh-huh.
Which is
you can import that in Rhino.
Yeah, it's GLB right there. It's a binary type file format. GLTF binary.
Never heard of that.
So, well, that's probably a big file. But yeah, it's kind of. I mean, and like I said, they're just getting starting out with this stuff. So just give it another year. So who knows what they'll be able to do.
I don't know how many more years or so you think I got to give to anyone, buddy. But I know Nate appreciates it. Tell him thank you, Nate. That's the terrible thing about Jaffe. He'll always send you into the newest, greatest thing there ever was.
I don't think that's too bad.
That's pretty cool.
And that just took an image.
What's that?
I just took an image that you just imported, huh?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
So yeah, I was just going to that this Pixel Bay search, and like you'll see my there it is. I just took that one and dragged it on it. I did this one too. This one turned out kind of funny. Whoops.
Does it have to have like 3D features, or could it be a complete 2D photo?
It'll kind of crop it to like whatever's centered on the object, because I put an actual photo on it, and it just it'll try to feature detect, it looks like. But is it import? Let's see what this one is. Oh yeah,
That's the snake.
that's the snake. But what? Oh yeah, like these gain adjustments, saturation.
It's still pretty cool though, because you couldn't really see any of the hidden parts of the photo.
If you tried to model that in Revit, you'd be dead. But you see, the more important thing there is a lot like our roof that we were talking about. We don't try to draw all those standing seams. If you notice, he's sort of getting like scales and stuff with a bump map. That's generally how we try to get that texture on there. So you see how the snake looks smooth, but when he goes back to that shaded view, you'll actually see it sort of like has scales. It has bumps on it.
I'm gonna throw a quad remesh on there, see what it does.
Oh, recreate the shape. So that's a more efficient shape. Does it still have the material?
No, I doubt
When you
it.
throw the material?
No.
It does, but it got fungulitis.
Yeah, and I think you could transfer that UV mapping. So, like, there's a way to do it. You know,
Pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
yeah, I'll put a link in the thing, and then hopefully they'll have whatever their
You send it to everybody.
like they were doing so yeah, they're these rings, they were doing people were messing with it yesterday.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, so you take a picture like this and it'll isolate whatever's in the middle.
Dude, that's awesome. And then you can go back and like change the small details, make it accurate.
No, you'd want to redraw over it, kind of like Brian's process.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'd want to start from scratch. But
Interesting.
it's better than nothing.
Yeah, gives you
Let's
good
see where
guidelines.
Nathan's at. Nathan, that almost looks like a set of drawings, doesn't it, Jaffy?
Mm-hmm.
Don't get too
Got a
excited.
sheet plan.
All right, where'd you get hung up with?
These
All
I
right.
know because the images are big. I know you're mainly going to want just your plans here and some details. You're not going to want everything in the world.
I wouldn't
but-
recommend taking those titles off. Looks like you made those things no title.
Yeah, I did. Because I don't know why. I thought it just looked nicer to me. But talking to you today, talking about it, it makes more sense.
You want that to have basement and first floor, you need to have a spot to reference that to.
Yeah, that is definitely a mistake that I made. Did the same thing here.
Uh-huh.
Elevations, I didn't touch too much. I did add a few. I added all my tags to every one of them.
Yeah.
Uh,
You would probably have about twice that many tags on there, but you're
Yeah,
good
yeah.
start.
and then I also had to name these as well.
Yep.
But I have information for all of them. Wall details, I did some.
Uh-huh.
Touch the symbols a little bit. I didn't have too many symbols in here.
No, you're not gonna.
Yeah. Cross section. I was gonna do the same thing. I was getting started on it. Did that late last night, but I didn't. I fell asleep. And then this is your extra credit that you had me do.
All right.
But yeah, I still got to do a little
How'd
bit
you
more.
get that? How'd you get that cut to work?
Here. I just I did a revolve to make the
I see
sphere.
the revolve. What's that? What's that second object? Just an extrusion? And
Yeah.
how did you get it to be an N and a C?
I drew it.
Yep. Now, do you know that there's actually model text you can use?
I did try it.
But that won't cut. You can't set
yeah.
that to be a cutting object.
Yeah, I tried that first, and I realized that you can't make that a void.
So then you decided you'd trace over it and get
Yep.
the effect. I love it.
And I
Excellent
didn't,
on that homework. How
I
are you
didn't-
making out on your second house?
I got to drop off, guys. Have a good one.
that's cool.
Later,
Have a
Dad.
good-
Bye.
Second house, I haven't started yet. Still looking for one. I
All
want to
right.
find a really good one. But I can guarantee you I'll probably finish that today.
All right. Well, I tell you what, you take your choice. Second house,
Okay.
or go back into those sample projects.
Okay.
Try to get those duct styles and those pipe styles. Try to see what you can do. Take ownership of that thing. And then we're going to try to get you to make a little bit more realistic drawings for him.
Okay.
Save the files when you're done working so that you have your changes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like save
And
them-
obviously, you'll be doing that in 2024.
Right. Yeah.
Okay? Because you don't have those good sample projects for 2020. And back then we didn't even get sample projects. I mean, they gave you no examples, so at least that's a bright side. Unfortunately, it proves my theory because that set of sample drawings is not too doggone good.
And I guess that is something
You
that I
get
haven't.
furniture and stuff in.
No,
Yeah,
he did
yeah.
good.
I mean, it looks decent on the Hold on. Where am I at? I guess I just could have went to 3D view, but section box. Oh, what did I do
Rock
wrong?
boundaries on.
Oh yeah.
Nope, the one beside it.
Okay. And then if I could have just gone here, but floor plan, first floor. It looks better than it did before with the furniture and
Now, what you should do is you should do some 3D sheets. You see how this is your 3D view? You only have 3D views. You got this one. You got a cover perspective and a 3D view one.
I did try that with this. What I did, I didn't exactly know how to capture this view.
Right here, you just go under your 3D over there and you duplicate it.
Oh, hold on.
You're fine.
I'm listening.
Go to your 3D view over in your browser. Right click on that. Say duplicate. Call it first floor. You got to rename it now. You can't have those weird characters. I just wipe out the whole 3D stuff at the front. There you go. Name it the same exact thing as you named your first floor. It's where I'm actually lazy and I copy and paste, but you're good. That's it. That's all you got to do. Okay. Now, on top of that, if you've got your tags working for your elevations and things, down by your eyeglasses, there's a little house with a little blue lock on it. Hit that. You can save this orientation and lock this view. Do it. Once you've done that, you can actually go in there and tag those windows and them doors. You would actually see that the reason we save a view is so that we can go annotate. Yep, tag by category. And you would actually find you could tag some stuff. See it? Got to get used to when your leader's on and when your leader's off, but yep. You can also do, I believe, material tags as well. See the material tag? That's the multi-category. There you go. See that? You can put a couple dots on there and you can call a couple things out.
Okay, he's not barking no more. But yeah, that makes sense. And that creates the view, and then I can just slap this into a sheet.
Yep, as long as it's of a good scale. Yep, you can slap that onto a sheet, and you could actually. I generally try to push one Misty and I have come up with is we put that first floor, and then we'll make one of the second floor that's right above it and hold the two apart so that you can see the first floor, second floor roof, all right here, and have an exploded view.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to do for
Well,
this.
now you can do it. Now you can do it.
Because it would have been a lot better for you to actually see what's in here rather than just this top-down view. So what I was going to do was go into my 3D view like this, and I just used my snipping tool. And I was going to just load the images in.
No, we'd never do that. We'd never do that. We'd make the 3D view. Then let's get through the last 3D view. So if you go to a first floor plan or second floor plan, I don't care which one. All right. So underneath the 3D house that we always go to.
Yeah.
Underneath it, there's a camera. Go put yourself right out by the edge of the couch, right by the window. Nope, by the edge of the couch.
Right here?
Now, click there. And then look to the kitchen. There you go. And you want to actually look, that's what you're looking for. What'd you do? Hide that light because it was in your way?
Yeah, is that a good thing to do or no?
No, that's livable. But we can actually do better control than that in there. Now, understand, this is not an isometric view. This is a perspective view. Right?
Yeah.
So you turn your shaded on. Now, to really capture more of the room, I have this little trick that I do. So go ahead and close all views and then get yourself back to that second floor plan and window tile those two. You can close that one. Close that extra credit guy.
And then you said...
No. Yeah, your regular first floor.
First floor and
now
second
do your
floor?
window tile.
Okay.
All right. Get them both centered into view. Double click on your wheel.
I'm trying. It's a
I
little
know.
funky.
Yep. So if you pick the crop boundary, you'll see where your camera is in your floor plan. See where your camera is?
Yeah.
So it's actually going to give you the best, really neat view is going to be if you're standing on the front porch. So drag your camera out to the front porch. That'd be good. That was how see how you get so much more of the room when you're further out? Take yourself off the front porch. Perfect. Right there. I love that. Now, go to your 3D view.
Okay.
Turn your section box. Hit escape 2 times so you're not picking on anything. Turn your section box on. See the section box? Yeah, pick that.
Yeah.
Now go to your plan view and drag that south side so it's just inside the wall and watch the pretty view you get. See how that works? And you can go a little bit more if you want. You can take it just a little bit further. Nope, you got to get that center grip handle. Keep going. See that? See how that view really captures that room? And if you put that view with that isometric view in your plan, that tells everybody what's going on in a heartbeat.
Yeah, that is a lot better.
Okay. The trick is people think that they can stretch the crop boundary on that perspective view. What you have to do is you have to dolly your camera out of the room. Think about how they made sitcoms and things like that. They only had a house, half a house. It was a cut a section into it.
Yeah.
which is another thing you can do. So if you go to your regular good 3D view that we do our working on, the house one. So you learned how to cut a floor plan. Did you cut one of the sections? Go to one of your building sections, right click. Orient the view, sections, one of your building sections, your top 2 building sections. Then give it a little bit of a twist. And you can see pretty cool into the house.
Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yeah. So
You got the standing seam roof on there, but remember I wanted you to get the asphalt shingles.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. No.
You forgot about it, so you didn't
I
even
did, yeah.
try?
Well, I wasn't even thinking about it. That is
I
a
want you to
problem.
put shingles on that roof.
Okay. Yeah.
Keep the standing seam on the low roof, but put shingles on the high roof.
Okay, so standing
That's a
seam.
little bit of a booby trap, all right? I'm setting you to step into something you're gonna have a hard time figuring out, and I'm doing that on purpose.
Okay. Can
And
we
then
go
all we
over?
gotta
Oh, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if we can go over those the tags that you said because there was a way to make them.
Uh-huh.
As I definitely don't think I did them the correct way.
Well, there is no real incorrect way to do them, but you're probably using all category tags right now. And the trick is to use some category tags, some material tags, and some multi-category tags. And then also to use multiple types of tags as well. So multiple door tags, multiple pipe tags, multiple duct tags.
Okay.
Did I lose you? I should
No.
have. I should have to an extent because you don't have enough developed to actually start hitting those. But what we really want to do is you would take a beating. The average architect who didn't want to come from AutoCAD would say your wall sections look like pooey. That would be the part they would have a hard time with. That's the part everyone has a hard time with is the wall sections not looking developed enough. And that's about creating the stickers, and we will get to that. The stickers and the tags and turning those damn trees off in everything other than your 3D view. The only place those trees should be is where your trees look good, and they don't look good in any of them big files.
Yeah.
Okay? But
Okay.
it looks good. It looks pretty good. Your
I-
dimensions are getting there.
I haven't touched my dimensions, so they're still the
Okay.
same.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can stay the same on the next house. Use the advice that we did. Try to string them. We're actually going to show you how they pick up walls and stuff like that one of these times.
Can I try that now?
Sure. That would be a gross mistake.
What?
That'd be a terrible idea. Why?
Oh, I know. I said what?
Trying to throw dimensions now. Eric, tell them why. You got an idea why I'm saying that, or you? I don't know if you're still there or not.
No, I'm here. What did you say?
I told him it'd be a bad idea. He deleted the bad dimensions and he was going to go sling new dimensions. And I said, that's a really bad idea.
Okay.
Why would that be?
Because
See,
they're already
down, you have
tight.
all these countertops, toilets, bathtubs. And when you think you're dimensioning to the edge of that wall, you're going to actually be dimensioning to the edge of a tub or the edge of a
Or
sink.
the edge of the lip of the tub or the line of the range.
Exactly. So what you do before you go slinging dimensions is escape 2 times, pick one of your walls, pick one of your dimensions, you use the control and select the dimension and pick a door and pick a window. Now isolate category with your sunglasses. Now you could dimension.
Okay, that makes sense.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
Now you're not going to accidentally grab something that you're not meaning to grab. Now, if you're going to try to go across there, yep, hit the first edge of the outside wall. Let's go to the center of that closet wall this time. Come on, no, not the center. I didn't mean the center of the door. I meant the center of the closet wall. The little short wall on the side.
Right
Okay.
here?
So right now you've got it picking wall faces.
Yeah.
See where it picks wall faces? I'd be where I'd pick wall center line. Yep, pick. Then the next wall, pick. Then the next wall, pick. Next wall. Now watch. Go back and pick that last wall that you just picked. Notice how every wall is showing you which wall you've already locked down. Can you see how it's telling you? Oh, you didn't lock the one wall down. The one that you did hit, go hit it again. What I'm trying to show you is that this dimension string now lets you look across your drawing and say, did I miss any walls? You see all the blue dotted lines it's creating for you?
Yeah.
So it's showing you all the walls you did pick up.
I see.
And
Yeah.
then that last wall on the edge, if you wanted to get the wall face, you could go there with leave it say wall center lines and do a tab. And then it would let you pick it. And then it would let you be continuous. That makes sense?
Yeah. So that's a better way to do it then.
Yep.
Because I was doing it all to the faces.
You could still go to the faces, but then you would keep that dimension that's in there. You don't get rid of that dimension. Or you could go to just one of the wall faces. And that was where I said, remember, go to the wall face that's important. So for the first wall you came to, that would be the outside of the closet wall.
Yeah.
Right? And then the next wall you would come to, it would be not that face. That wouldn't be the important face. The important face would be the other face. Why? Because it decides how wide the corridor is. And that corridor is going to have to be a certain width.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Now pick that dimension string you just put in. You see the little blue dot that's in the middle of that line? Nope. Nope.
Oh,
That
this one.
extension line. Nope. Nope. Look at the door that we were looking at. All right. Go up from there. The first dot, that blue dot. Click on that blue dot one time. Click on it again. See what it just did? Jump from face to center to face to face
Oh.
to center.
Huh.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're exactly right. So that's exactly how I would dimension that one. To the one facing the inside the room. So go ahead and click that one again. Well, good. What about that next one over? That's where I would put it. Correct.
Okay.
And then the two 1'7.5" I would stretch so that they didn't have the overlap because I wouldn't want to get the 1'7.5" you can't read. Don't be afraid to go below as well.
Where would you go?
I would go right below the 3'5".
Right below?
I mean, right now I'd make that curve so it wasn't a stretch looking curve. Go a little bit over to the one line. That's it. That's where I would be, somewhere right about like that.
And you would just make it the same?
Yep, just like that. Those I would not want to have yep. You drag it, I think, back to the line till it touches that line. Yep. And then it goes back to your home position.
He seems to be able to feel that snap point pretty well, I'm noticing.
Yep, I agree.
Now, once I get all the dimensions like down and right, do I then go back and start changing the bad numbers?
I don't know that you have any bad numbers. What do you mean bad numbers?
Like, I was just saying, like, if I were to have bad numbers, like, is 5/8 not bad?
No, I don't think it's bad.
Okay, so if I had like a 32 over like something, or like, no, okay, that's a half inch.
But remember, we don't pick on the dimension to fix that. We pick on the window
Yeah.
or the door or whatever the object is.
Yeah, to activate the dimension, or you could,
Correct.
or you could just and then activate.
Yes, correct.
Right, and then I noticed that I left out dimensions actually. I left out this dimension.
Yep.
It's not showing nowhere. I left
Yep.
out this dimension. I only did this one.
Well, and remember all those interior dimensions we told you those should be on the inside of the house.
Right.
And only
So
the stuff on the outside of the house should be on dimension with the dimensions on the outside of the house.
right. Would you go face to face here, or would you go center to center
That would be a tough one.
with
That'd
like
be a tough one.
rooms?
You could probably go any.
Would you put it right there? I feel like I'd probably put it out here.
No, I don't think I'd put it there. I think I would put it up and I would probably pick up. Yep. Yep. Just inside where the door tag would be. And then I would string that guy all the way over to the other wall so I get that other small room at the same time, the laundry room or whatever it is. Nope. You don't have to take it away. You just pick on the dimension and say edit witness line
Oh, right. And you would go here.
all the way over to the edge of the house. Yep. That's where I'd go. Tab. Yep. That's probably where I'd stick that.
Yeah, I think I was really afraid to put my dimensions on the inside. I only did it right here because there was nothing there at the time.
And that's an exterior. That should actually be on the outside
Yeah.
because you're dimensioning the window, which is on the outside of the building.
Now this is to wall, so that would stay on the
Yep.
inside, right?
Yep, correct. And the window would go to the outside. There, you just drag it.
With this line, or?
You just drag that witness line.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay.
Okay. And see, then you need to pick up that door location. You didn't miss the front door location.
Yeah.
And then the little window, and that would pick that and hit edit witness line. Yep.
Oh.
One more pick in the white space and you'll be there.
Right. Okay. You wouldn't have. You probably would have just strung all those together.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that.
Well, come back and do that. Let's see what else we need to help you with. I'm not ready to take you into detailing your wall sections yet, though. I want you to. I think you've got enough to do. If you'll do this, repeat the second house, and begin to play with that sample project. I'll be honest. I'm good with at least we got a 3-hour meeting in. So thank you for jumping on. I didn't think I was going to do anything today. My attitude's been really in the dumpers. So I appreciate you jumping on. At least we got something produced.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, jump on that meeting.
Yeah.
At StreamYard. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, maybe 9:50. We'll all jump on, Eric.
Yep.
And then I just need you guys to mute your mics while the meeting's actually going on. And hopefully you'll be able to hear what's going on the meeting. And I'll share the screen of what the meeting is. And we can all hear what they're talking about, where we got to put our files and when they're planning on working on the job. And you guys can realize that the job is coming forth. Okay?
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Next, the other thing, Nate, don't be afraid to drop us an email tonight, tomorrow night, whatever night you're working. If you get stuck, and we'll jump on this same exact link. You can just shoot out an email and say, does anyone want to join me in the sandbox? I have a few questions. We'll jump into this sandbox, and then we could choose whether we want to go live or not. And Eric,
Okay.
all I'm probably going to do is just name it Sandbox and the date. When you go
Can I
live,
make
you
a
got to give it
shortcut
a
of
name.
this guy? I don't think I can.
What's that?
I was trying to make a shortcut of this guy, but I don't think I can.
You can copy the hyperlink and make a shortcut of it.
Okay.
And we'll just keep doing it this way. That way we only have one link. I'll send it out again, though, a couple more times.
That's fine.
All right, Nate. One of the problems I see, your window head heights and your door and your wall cabinets are not working out. Go back to that 3D kitchen view that you showed me. See where your base cabinet, your wall cabinets are. See how high your kitchens are, your kitchen windows are.
Yeah.
That's a little bit unusual.
Yeah, then it needs to come down, right? Wouldn't it come to the top of the?
Probably they'd go up.
Oh, the cabinets would go up.
Probably it would go up, and they might even have like a wall above them. Sometimes, because like you don't want the dust to pile up. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's all where it gets into the design end of it. And
Yeah.
that's where it gets challenging. I just want you to understand that if an architect was looking at that, he would see an issue in the fact that your cabinets don't line up with your window heads.
Okay.
Also, there's 2 doors in the hallway. They're not the same height. That one and that one. Pick on one. What's its height?
7 foot.
By 84. Is that what it says? 80. Pick the one next to it. What's its height?
84 and 80.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I. Yeah, okay. The reason I did that because I tried to get that same swing, but I guess I didn't use the same door.
Well, all I'm saying is it just needs to be an 84-inch height.
Yep. I did create. Hold on. Where are they? Because I could have sworn I created. Yeah.
See what you didn't realize is you were using a 2-foot or a 3-foot or a 30-inch. You just didn't realize there was some 84s and some 80s. So what should really happen is we shouldn't be using any 80s. We should be using all 84s throughout the job.
Yeah, and I can go back and change all of those.
All right.
It looks to me like the bedroom doors are pinched. It looks like your little hallway back into there might need to be deeper, or your doors might need to be narrower.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing that you barely got room for the 2-inch or the the
Trim.
stud, and
You're
then you
exactly
also
right.
had that little gap.
Talking about right here.
Pick that
Yeah.
one door. Pick that one door. Type in BX. Now, rotate yourself around. See that trim that's going down the side? It runs into the wall.
Oh yeah, I see.
You see?
Yeah, I
Have
see
you
it.
zoomed it and rolled it around to the other side, you would see it probably rolling into the other corner. Same problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it.
And
mean,
when you pick on the wall, that's a problem. You actually find out you don't have that wall dimensioned. In your plan view, zoom out just a little bit. See, you did good at dimensioning the vertical walls in that view, but you didn't do good at dimensioning the horizontal walls. You didn't tell them you did tell them where the one closet wall is. Zoom out a little bit more. A little bit. Yep, you told both closets, but you didn't tell them where that end wall is. You see which wall you have it dimensioned?
Oh, I see. Yeah, this one right here.
That one right there. You
For this
got it.
wall. Yeah, I
No.
didn't put it out there.
Yep. That wall you didn't pick up, and when you do pick it up, I'd add 2 more inches to it, whatever its distance is, so that you have enough room for the doors
And
trims to work.
now that I'm thinking about it, I would probably place it right in here, wouldn't I?
Possibly. Yeah, I don't think there's a right or wrong answer there. I would probably, you see the 14-foot 0 1/8 inch?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'd put it. Pick that guy and say edit witness line. Yep,
Just like that?
just like that.
Okay.
Be careful because you're now dimensioning with stuff on. You will dimension to the back of casework and wish you had never done that. Then you'll be like, Brian, you were right. I should have done all that dimensioning early.
Right. I should have done this.
The isolate. Yep. But you don't have to do it again. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, I just like repeating. That way it's in my head.
And see, now when you pick that wall, the 2'11" would highlight. Pick the wall. Nope, not that wall. You don't want to move your kitchen wall. You want to move that end wall. Yep.
I forget. What I select is what I move.
That's correct. That's why we're trying to drill that into you a little bit. 3'1". That would give you that extra 1 inch you need. Now your door should be able to almost fit. It might need 3'2".
Fits barely.
But does it fit on the other side of the room? Rotate around?
Nope.
Nope. Not that one.
Not that one.
You can give it a try. That's
is
the
that?
one. That's the temporary dimension going to the wall center line. If you look, it actually goes to the center line of the wall.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. Okay.
That's a temporary dimension.
Nope, that didn't change it either.
No, that changed it. Now you could move the door a little bit.
It looks like it still goes in there quite a bit.
No, well, look at the other side. You've got more room on the other side now. Zoom, rotate around. See, so you can move that door north 1 inch.
How would I do that? What would be the best way to do that?
I would go to my plan view and I'd just go up arrow, up arrow. Yeah. Or you could center it in there with a dimension center, but yep, now that's exactly what you're trying to do. Now you went a little bit too far on that side. And that's right on the money, both sides.
Almost looks like it's still in there a little bit, but
Well, you could adjust it.
yeah.
We're just trying to show you that you got to remember that there's trim around those doors.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you don't see it in the plan view. Right? You don't see that trim.
Right.
You're close. You're very close. I want you to play with that HVAC, that plumbing, and that electrical. Just keep exploring a little bit. See if you can make it look a little bit better. And next time we're in the sandbox, we're going to make it look a lot better. Try to create those pipe styles and duct styles so that the colors are better.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. And then no, where's it at? Oh. I don't have it here. But the roof shingles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do my sheets look? I do
Go
need
ahead.
to change
Do
these.
your TW so we can see the whole sheet.
Yeah.
I don't think you're bad there. Those three are the last two that you did. 4.0 and 4.1.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I
I would say that the wall details, those details should be happen after your building sections, which you call cross sections. We would typically call those building sections.
okay.
And if you had your little title bars turned on, you would see that's what you actually named them.
Right.
Turn your
Yeah.
title bar on in him. Uh-huh. See how you said building section longitudinal? That's
Yeah.
where what we do is we pick into the first one and we would type in Control C. Remember, we picked the view, then we pick the view one time.
Yep.
Then pick on the name or the number that you're trying to replace. Pick Control C. Now, where you wrote cross sections, see, that's why we don't type cross section. Nope, nope. Right here on the border. Go to click on the border. Click on your border.
This one?
Yep. Control V.
Okay.
Take the word longitudinal out and change it to an S. Because it's multiple building sections. Nope. Yeah, S. That's the proper name for that sheet. Your wall sections should be happening after that. So the one that you wrote wall details, once again, you turned your title bars off, so you're not seeing that you called those more than likely wall sections,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
right? See, a wall detail is what, Eric?
I don't think he turned those off. I think that he was putting those in after he changed the one to that, and therefore it came in as the
No, he
standard.
changed them.
Yeah,
He
no,
changed
I
Oh.
did. Yeah, I did go back and change all of them.
and
Okay,
you
no, I'm
see
sorry. What was your question, Brian?
what is a wall detail compared to a wall section?
It's going to be the blow up that we talked about down at the window well, or the blow up at the floor
A
slab where the
plan
floor ties
view,
to the wall.
a plan view detail is a wall detail, and a section view is a wall section. A wall detail and a wall section, that's the difference between the two.
Gotcha.
Generally, detail means plan. And then I would copy it out of there. The word wall section, just the word wall section, leave the S off. Control C.
Okay.
Now I'd go to my first detail on the sheet, and I'd go down to the bottom and I'd say paste Control V, and then I would say at window well, or at living room, or at left side. Or
You mean at this way?
I don't generally recommend that. I would just do a lowercase at. And now, what is this the wall section at? And I would see that window well there. That would probably be what I would name that.
At
Or
window
at
wall?
back wall. See how you got the one wall section at front porch? This one's wall section at window well. Right?
Yeah.
And then that would be named wall section at something. Wall section at Joe Mama. I don't care. Possibly the stair? I don't know.
I
The
was just gonna
right
say left
side,
side.
east wall wouldn't be a bad way to go. West wall, that wouldn't be a bad way to go.
Yeah, because this is looking from the back of the house, so that's east. This is west.
Yep, and I think I would do one more. That would be the back wall.
Back wall?
And now what?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I see.
Actually,
So
that's
I'll
what
have
the
to-
middle one. The middle one is the wall section at the back wall.
This one is?
Yep.
How do you mean?
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're right. It's the west wall. The other one would be at the east wall.
Yeah.
Now, notice how all of those first floor lines don't line up with each other.
Yeah.
Well, they should.
Okay. Couldn't I?
Don't grab the view. It will actually find it if you drag it. A little green dotted line should show up. Nope. There you go. That's it. No, that didn't line up with squat. It's because you got the brakes in them.
Probably.
And see, the brakes should happen at the same spot on every view.
Oh, how do you do that?
Take that first one, double click inside of it,
Yeah.
drive the two brakes together. Perfect. Do the same thing with the one in the middle. Now your two line up. Now try to drag one of those guys up or down, and you'll see that it'll grab that alignment for the. Now bring it back to see how it's snapping to that spot. Nope, drag down. It'll pick up the alignment of the one next to it, as long as it's the same scale.
Oh, I see.
See the basement line up?
Yeah.
See, now they line up. Now you make the brake exactly the same in both of them. Nope, go up there and drag that down. Correct. Now, wait before you do that one.
Okay.
Go back to the other one. Now, take that top view as high up on the sheet that's still on the sheet. Nope, not there. The move arrow.
This?
The little arrow in the middle.
Oh, this.
Yeah. Now drag that down so you're only getting rid of what you have to. Nope, not that far. Not that far. Sometimes you have to zoom in a little bit closer. Right. See, that's using the whole page. Now you try to break your other one exactly the same way.
Okay. Should I get these as close as I possibly can? So zoom in more.
You could. You don't have to.
Okay.
Some people are going to want you to put a break line in, which is a detail component, which we're going to end up getting to. See, so now you know where that drag goes. Now you know where that move goes. Nope, nope, nope. Don't do the drag down yet. Move it to the right location.
Right.
See, so the second floor lines up with the second floor, and I don't think you'll be able to get this to snap or anything. Little bit lower, little bit lower. That's good enough. Well, there you go. Love it. Now drag the other one down and go to where it went to on the other side. Yeah, that's about annoying. Those break views are not the greatest views. We only use those in architectural typically. That's pretty good. Do you see how they seem to make more sense? Now you have the one for the break at the front porch. You should really have one for the back porch too.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the big thing most people are not going to like is you don't have that stuff detailed out quite enough detail yet.
True. Yeah.
You know, you got to show your studs. You got to show insulation. You got to show your rafters, any possible flashing, that kind of stuff. It's just a little bit of detail. None of that should mean anything to you right now. So don't worry about that meaning something. But I will tell you that middle view, your section needs to be a little bit wider. You haven't included the whole wall on the basement floor because the basement floor wall is wide. Double click. Grab that crop boundary. And that one of those inside faces, drag it in a little bit. No, not that side. That's the out. This is the inside. That's it. See? Nope, the other way. So you got to see the whole wall there, Nathan. See the wall?
Oh.
See, so we can see
Yeah.
what it's sitting on. Right?
Yeah, I got you.
And you see at the bottom of see at the floor, do you see how that's hatched down there? See how it's got that hatching in there?
Yeah.
That shows us concrete. That's telling me and Eric that that's concrete in there.
Yeah.
Okay. So while you're doing all this adjustment, you should definitely have your line weights on so you can see what you're actually going to get.
Line weights.
Yep. So what I'm saying to you is that back wall right there, you did not finish that back wall. Pick that back wall.
You're talking about the layers, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't
put the layers in that one.
I didn't really know because it was concrete. I didn't know exactly what wall.
Hit edit type, show me the structure. Nope. See where it says by category structure 1.5? That's probably a concrete wall.
Lightweight?
Cast in place. Cast in place. That's it. See, that begins to show your detail much better because now you're going to see this concrete stippling on there. And the person's going to know it's a concrete wall. However, now how do we fix that? We just join the two things together.
Yeah. Nope, modify. Join. And then
See?
no, wrong one.
That's not a bad way to go, that masking region. But we don't have to do that. Well, that's why we joined it.
Yeah, but you don't want the this part to go in there.
Well, we're gonna actually put mostly stickers on top of that stuff. The masking region, I was just trying to show you how you can white stuff out.
Okay.
We'll get more into detail in that stuff as we go. Got finished grade in there. That's going to be a problem putting that damn sink on that concrete wall, though. Probably going to have to be a 10-inch wall with some furring on it. There's nowhere for that pipe to go, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. So there'll have to be another layer on.
But
this
I
concrete
don't
wall.
like where your wall sections are numbered. A4.0 is not a good number for them. They should probably be A4.3 for the sheet number, because the building sections come first. We always do the bigger elevation, the bigger scale stuff first, the bigger picture, and we work our way down. So your wall sections and your enlarged kitchens should really happen after your building sections.
Okay, so just put this as a 4.0 and move these forward.
You could. Just so they don't fall in order that way. What's your 4.3 sheet?
4. It was just another one I was going to make. I don't know. Hold on.
That's going to be your 3D floor plan or your 3D stack plan. See, by you typing that in, it tells you what to do later. And I put an S on the end of it, 3D floor plans, and I would put all of my floor plans on there.
Okay.
So see if you can make all three of your floor plans and stack them. Get that stuff in the right order. Take it just a little bit further. Start your next one. And then play with that sample project. That's enough for you to do. You're never going to get done with all that tonight.
No.
I'm not expecting you to get that all done with that, but I am knowing that you're going to have a little bit of hard time stacking those floor plans. So I want to have those questions tomorrow when you get ready for them.
Okay, my goal
Okay.
is to not have problems.
My goal is for you to have problems, because then I can explain to you how to fix them. Now, same thing's true with the asphalt shingles. You better not have standing seam on that roof tomorrow.
Okay.
Even if you don't have shingles, I want to know that you at least do not spend more than 45 minutes trying to put those shingles on that roof. Okay? I want you to try to do a little bit of search on the internet, waste a little bit of time, but not a lot. Don't waste more than an hour trying to get those shingles on that roof.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Anything else?
No.
Eric, thank you for joining.
No problem.
Like I said, Nate, if you want, you can shoot out an email and say, can anyone join me in the sandbox? And I want Eric or Misty to start being able to help chip in.
Yep, no
Okay.
problem. Just let me know.
Okay.
Now, I'm hoping that we'll actually be playing in the sandbox some of that time. But I'm a little bit hoarse. I want to get something to drink. And I'll be honest, I think we got 3.5 hours in. I apologize for Monday and Tuesday. Tomorrow, we have a meeting at 10 o'clock.
All right.
So try to be up, and we'll jump on this exact same link at around 9:45.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. See you guys tomorrow.
All right. Y'all have a good
Anything
night.
else, Nathan? You need anything else?
Maybe just having all these as legends. Is that all right?
Having what?
Because I have all my if I were to go to my my cover sheet, I have all these as legends.
Yeah. Here's the problem. If you go to a drafting view, scroll up a little bit in your properties. Yep. You see those two drafting views, your perspective? Oh, perspective. That was what you were trying to do. You could delete that. That was a terrible thing to do.
No, I don't. I
Oh,
don't
that
know
was
how
the
this is done,
original.
but I
That
got-
was the
yeah.
original perspective. What's nice about a drafting view is you can right click on it and you can say copy to clipboard. See that?
Copy to clipboard. Where's that at? Right here.
Right down there. Now you could take that and put that in another project. You see those vicinity map notes?
Yeah.
I'd like to go put that in my other project. Go to your legends and see if you can copy to clipboard. Give you a secret, you can't.
Haha.
That's why they're better off as drafting views.
So all these notes.
If
Would
they're
that
only gonna appear one time, they're better off as drafting views because then you can copy them from house 1 into house 2.
okay?
You only want to use legends if it's going to be on multiple sheets.
Okay, I see.
And not the end of the world. I do not recommend go fixing it.
Yeah,
Just trying to let you know.
yeah. I was just wondering.
Yeah, no,
But that's
good
it.
question. You went overboard on the legends. Most of those I would want as drafting notes. Now, let me scroll up a little bit on your browser. So do you see how it says sections, building sections, building
Yeah.
section? Yeah. Well, you see the ones that say wall section?
Yeah.
Highlight those 4. Go up to edit type. Duplicate. Wall section. And okay. Oh, you already got one of that type. So just go ahead and change it to be wall section. And say okay. Do you see how much nicer that is? Your building sections are in your building section folder. Your wall sections are in your wall section folder.
Yeah, that is nice.
Right?
Yeah.
We want to keep our browser clean and organized. Right now, it's not a problem. You're only going to have 15, 20 views.
Right.
When you start doing that school, you're going to end up with a couple hundred views. So we want to be able to break them apart.
All right. Yeah.
Make sense?
Yeah.
It's looking good. You let me down with your asphalt shingles, so blow me away. Figure out how to put asphalt shingles up on that roof.
Okay.
Like I said, don't be surprised if you can't. That's why I asked the question. Make sure your trees are turned off anywhere they aren't necessary in any 2D views where we want dimensions, not fancy tree edges. Mostly in your sections. Definitely in your wall sections.
Right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yep. I
Yeah.
got you.
okay.
Yeah.
You're missing a section on this view. There should be one more section.
Yes, the back wall.
The back wall. You got it. And you see the one at the front porch, you can actually fix it right here. You actually want that to go down and cover that basement area too. You want that to go all the way down below the footing. Yep.
Which means when you go back to the other view, you're going to need to realign it.
Yep. It's not
Yeah.
going to be. There you go. Well, it wasn't aligned in the first place.
Oh, that's right. We just did the first 2 views.
Right. There you go. Get that
Yeah.
line. And like I said, the reason they're not snapping to place is because you use that broken crop boundary. It's good, but not that great.
Talking about this one.
The one where you do the break in there, correct?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I'll
see,
probably.
I would not break that till I was over top of that porch. I would want all of that porch and all that stair detail like you got.
Okay. So you wouldn't break that at all?
I would break it up above the porch roof.
Oh, so right here.
Yeah, and I might just pull that top boundary down until it's on the page. Yep. A little bit more, maybe. Yep, right in there. See how that I want lined up with the one across from it. Just trying to keep this stuff organized as best as you can. It's never going to be perfect, dude. But you're getting better.
Yeah, we can try.
Look, when you do that stretch, do that again. Go into it. Pick that. Look, take that blue dot and go over to that line that you're trying to line it up to. Yeah, like that. Then you'll be more accurate. You see how that works?
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Right?
Yeah.
That's all right. We'll get you there. So did you get a lot of hours since the last time we talked, or you just didn't do too much?
I got a little bit during the night. I did have to go somewhere else yesterday, so
All
I
right,
couldn't.
well, put some hours in.
All right, yeah.
Put some hours in and make sure you join me tomorrow so you can be in your first part of your meeting. Then
Yeah.
you can say, yep, I've been to BIM coordination meetings. I have that checked off on my resume. I know how to do that.
Okay.
I know you wanted to clean it off by taking off those titles. Clean those damn titles up. They should all line up with each other. First, the level line should line up, then the title bars should line up, and you can get them to line up independently. One we pick the view, the other we pick the title bar.
Yep.
So like in that first view, you should be able to grab that title bar right there. Nope, the title bar, and drag and snap. You got it.
Yep. No,
Okay.
I just gotta fix the views.
Yeah, a little more than that, but yes. Try to progress this a little bit. Try to start your house. Or if you don't want to start that second house, I fully understand you going back and doing the HVAC and the plumbing and the electrical. Try to make them look a little bit better. Try to get those pipe styles and those duct styles in there. Make sure your grid lines are off.
All right.
All right. If you don't remember how we did that, feel free to go back and watch this video.
Okay.
9:30, 9:45 tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Last chance. You got any more questions you want to hit?
Nope.
All right. That was good. We'll talk. I appreciate you jumping on, both of you.
Yeah.
Yep. Later.
All right. Later, guys.